I'm Victor Devon,
I'm Petra Fried
and this is Tonight.
on Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, we're in Canada. I saw Mountie. That's how you know.
That's how
You
you
can't
know.
go to England without seeing a Buckingham Palace guard. You can't go to New Orleans without seeing Mardi Gras. Can't go to Canada without seeing a Mountie.
This is Juliet Mills. I know her from when she was on the soap opera Passions, the eccentric old lady who had a weird
Who
enchanted
hung,
doll.
who hung out with Timmy? That's
Yes,
her?
that's her.
Holy shit!
I know. Judith here in this Bozo the Clown bow around her neck.
I love it.
I just don't like this look. I
I
don't
know.
think it's
It's all
good.
good. I'm tacky. I don't care. It's all good.
It does not a matriarch make.
Well, we're in Canada.
We're
Die from the fire or from the blow to the head.
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Only a fool would think that was an accident.
They seem so happy.
We knew so little about her.
We knew so little about her. Oh, hey. I'm Victor Devon.
I'm Petra Fried, and
And
this
this
is
is
Tonight
Tonight
on
on
Murder,
Murder,
She
She
Wrote,
Wrote. Oh,
International
lovely.
Edition.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little less awkward than, say, when Matlock went to England and had to basically do a mock trial as a barrister. It was
Mm,
entirely nonsensical. At the very least, Jessica is a civilian, so there's no jurisdiction issues, but
yeah,
it's
this is
it's still
also
a little silly.
a mixed bag of accents for being located in Quebec
Yeah, yeah.
across the board.
This
I'm like,
is
are we in
episode.
Leeds? Are we in London? Are we in Quebec? Are we in
We're
Maine? I don't know.
we're we're in a bunch of fun soup.
Yeah.
Uh, this is season 4, episode 3, Witness for the Defense, which of course is a take on Witness for the Prosecution, which is a
Hmm.
fabulous film starring
Mm.
Marlena Dietrich and Charles Lawton. And I'm going to pause it for just a second because I have news, if that's cool.
Yeah.
I got to meet Leslie Ann Warren and Tim Curry at a screening of Clue this
Oh my
week, and
God.
it's very
Oh my
exciting.
God.
Yeah, a total broad, an honorary broad, indeed.
Mm.
And
Which
that
one's
show is
which?
exactly. The film is in fact full of broads. In fact, Eileen Brennan and Colleen Camp both make appearances in Murder, She Wrote.
Hmm.
We were robbed, I'll say it, of any appearance of Leslie Ann Warren or Madeline Kahn, alas.
Oh,
But we also get Michael McKean at some point, and I believe that. Oh, and Bill Henderson, the cop, shows up at one point or another. I do believe as well.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe one
Some
of
of
the
our
movies.
supporting players, I think. I think are do you believe in the kingdom of whatever? The
Oh yes,
he
yes,
shows up, right? We
yes.
saw him
He
already, I
absolutely
believe.
does.
Yep.
Widow weep for me. He is the killer.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, it was an opportunity. They came to Anaheim, which is close-ish to me. So the husband and I packed our way over there. We knew a couple of months ago because I got the. I'm trying to remember how I found out. I think it was just a targeted ad. So unfortunately, those
Hmm.
targeted ads are working.
Honestly.
And my phone was listening. It knew the right thing. They still try to sell me $20 lipsticks, which is wrong, but
Oof.
I'm a I'm a gentleman on a budget. Thank you very much.
$20.
Um, I
16 is
know.
as
And
high as
then,
I'll go.
however, I will say that the tickets that we bought were not inexpensive. They
Hmm.
were substantial, but they did come with parking and with the opportunity to meet the hosts of honor. And that Leslie Ann Warren was headlining the 40th anniversary of Clue. So Clue came out in December of '85. So the 40th anniversary technically spills into '86. So it is still the 40th
Oh
anniversary.
yeah, of course.
Um, One of the reasons that they say that the film may not have had such an impact is because it did come out right before Christmas.
Hmm.
And it was up against some heavy hitters, and unfortunately, the heavy hitter is escaping me at the moment. But it was a huge. At that point, Back to the Future had already come out. There was just a lot of stuff going on, and it's while a brilliant film, it's my favorite film, and I will speak on length about it at any prompt. It's a quieter looking film, so I could also understand if it didn't read funny or louder even than it really is. Because there's dry British wit. There's also some like broad humor as well, broad in the other
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean the first real joke of the film is stepping in dog shit. So there's something for everyone,
Everybody loves a poop joke. Come
you
on.
know. And yet, of course, there's lots of nuance and a lot of fun.
Sure.
If it is one of those films that you have seen a million times, such as I recommend a fun little game while rewatching it. Pick a character and watch them on the sides. If you want a really good first one, go with Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White. She is
Sure.
doing something in every frame, as are all of them.
Hmm.
But it was very entertaining to see it on the big screen, which I had actually never done for the full film before.
Never
So that
ever.
was very nice. Not the full film, never. I had not seen it in theaters. I've seen the documentary, which
Hmm.
uses ample clips. So
Yeah.
I had seen a lot of it on the big screen because I saw that at the premiere. And I've seen the stage show, which is the stage adaptation. I've actually never seen the musical, which is very popular as well. I think there's two or three versions of that going around. But I saw the stage show at Bucks County Playhouse with Sally Struthers in the role of Mrs. Peacock. And it was very
Oh,
entertaining.
wow.
It was light. It was certainly light. And
Hmm.
the dialogue changes were not seamless. I will say that. They used
Yeah.
a lot from the film, but they also had to adjust things for the stage. And what wasn't from the film just really didn't have
Doesn't
that
live up.
sparkle.
Yeah.
No,
Well, it
and it
seems like the
really stuck
film,
out.
it seems like the dialogue from I mean, the film is very theatrical, right? It's very transferable from film to stage. So that's a bit of a
Hmm.
pity, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was partially because they wanted to adjust it
Yeah.
to really make it its own thing.
Hmm.
And also because the characters, while they resemble elements of Madeline Conway, the Mrs. White role was in the classic black dress. You can't,
Oh, sure.
and the bob and all that.
Yeah.
But some of the wardrobe choices were not the same. So, Mrs. Peacock, for example, was in a pantsuit.
Hmm.
So, which
Instead of the
means,
beautiful gold brocade
right,
dress. Yeah.
right, right. She still had like the affectation,
Hmm.
but I think she was really meant to be more of a contemporary senator's wife.
Sure. Yeah.
It's more
Isn't
of a
in the original
mm.
game, isn't Mrs. White the maid?
Mrs.
She
White is in
is,
fact the
right?
maid,
Yeah.
yes. And they readjusted it and switched that to Yvette and also youngified her considerably because if you look
Hmm.
at early depictions of Mrs. White, she
It's an older
is
woman. Yeah.
an
A
older woman,
white-haired sort
yeah,
of grandmotherly
right,
type
almost like a spinster
typeface.
type,
Very
yeah.
that. Yep.
Which adds levels because you have Mrs. White as the crone essentially. You have the
Hmm.
maiden, Miss Scarlet, and then you have that middle ground, which she almost looks like Eleanor Roosevelt in some of the or like Margaret Thatcher
Yes.
in uh, in some of her depictions, Mrs. Peacock. So yeah, and also it does also give an opportunity as it is a predominantly white cast. The seven leads are all white
Right.
in the
Right.
film. So the stage show did also mix that up a bit.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, I didn't love what they need. I didn't feel that they needed to do certain things about Plum distinctly. I don't also know. It's been a minute since I've seen it. This was before the pandemic or
Hmm.
shortly after. So my brain is
It's long
not
COVID.
fully.
It's okay.
It's Tim Curry actually kept saying during the Q&A, which there was a Q&A, that his memory has become unreliable. And then he would say something very, plain. So it was like,
Hmm.
I don't know how much of this is true or not. But he
He's fucking with you.
yeah.
I think he's
Well,
want to do that.
he has always been somewhat elusive. He's not
Oh yeah.
if there's only a few real interview pieces with him where he really gets into anything. He's a very private human being.
Yeah, he's
And
enigmatic and paradoxical in a lot of ways, right? We don't
right,
he's not very straightforward.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Which is what's
Um,
kind of exciting about him, right? And what
yeah,
sort
I
of
will say
it
he's
lends itself to him being able to do so many different types of roles.
yes, and he is effectively retired, or at least semi-retired. He had a
Yeah,
stroke a number of years ago. His speech has certainly
yeah,
improved.
yeah.
It was lovely to hear his distinctive voice.
Mm,
When I was able to have those scant seconds meeting them, because again, meeting was very quick, but
very
they
quick.
were very gracious. There was a lot of us actually who got the VIP treatment.
Mm,
There was not live signing, but we did get pre-signed, which I do
hmm.
believe were fully authentic and made
Yeah,
for this event.
yeah.
And while I'm certain that Leslie Ann Warren would have been able to live sign, the setup as it was, and out of respect for Tim, who he kind of has to plan for that a little
Definitely.
better. His
Yeah.
dexterity is different. He seems to have better movement in one hand versus another.
Mm,
Um, and he still uses a wheelchair.
yeah.
So, and I'm not really sure how ambulatory he truly is, but he was quick-witted but methodical. Like there was some lengthy pauses, but then he would I think it was more of just an articulation thing.
Yeah.
Um, and it was
Getting everything
I
pre-written in the brain and then
yeah,
getting it out.
and
Yeah.
I I could understand, and I wouldn't agree with it, but I could understand if someone, perhaps a little bit more cynical than I, and who isn't a little bit more cynical than I, um,
More than you?
that that seeing him, quote, in this state
Yeah.
could be jarring to people especially for a viewing of something where he's so physical and he's so capable during 40 years ago. But I will say there was something oddly gratifying about seeing someone at his age, because he's 80 something,
Hmm.
disabled, but capable, like still able
Hmm.
to interact. He didn't his mind it didn't seem like an imagined situation. His mind wasn't wandering. He just needed a second.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any criticism, but I often see where elderly celebrities dare to do anything and people say, "Oh, that's elder abuse," or "What do they even know what they're up to, or who is pulling the strings?" And I
Right.
understand that we've talked about Martha Ray in the past. We've talked about,
Sure.
I think there's some things to be said and deconstructed about the Michael Feinstein, Liza Minnelli situation going on right now, where I'm not 100% that everything is as it should be. I'll leave it for that. I'll leave it at that. But it was a delight
Yeah.
to see them. They had 45 minutes of conversation, which I did not plan to record, but I took my phone out on the introductions and I just kept it going. I'm like, you know what? I don't know the next time this will ever be made
You have it
available.
now.
They do have one more joint activity in San
Hmm.
Francisco next month, and that's it for a while at least.
Cute.
Leslie Ann Warren is returning to Palm Springs at the beginning of next year, in the first quarter of next year. So I believe this is it. There might be like something else come November or December, but if it is, it's probably just Leslie Ann Warren. Which,
Right.
don't get me wrong, would be a pleasure too. But Tim Curry is just signed on for these two events,
Yeah.
just these two. So,
How
and that's
fortunate. How
in San
very
Francisco.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Um,
I mean,
Leslie Ann Warren was very lovely to see. She liked my jacket. She said I looked fabulous. But
no surprise there.
I did have
She's
I
sort of
was
become
uh,
the de facto ambassador for the Clue movie, hasn't she?
she is one of the major proponents of it because
Uh-huh.
she, by virtue of surviving and by
Hmm.
virtue of being willing to talk about it at a level
She seems
that, and Tim
happy to
is
talk about it. Yeah. And she's
yes,
such a force in that movie too.
yes. the ones making the real rounds are Tim Curry when he's able to, although he also has such a legacy. This came up before where somebody asked, I mean, the question is always sort of cringy, but I
Yeah.
understand as an interviewer myself, the temptation to ask, could you ever have expected that this would be
Sure.
what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Which is, such a nothing question, but it
It's a
gives the
low-hanging fruit
opportunity.
question. It's more for fan
Yeah.
service that it is an actual interesting question
And
of the person being interviewed. But yes.
and Tim Curry said no, because I didn't expect lightning to hit twice. And of
Hmm.
course he's referring to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Um, and then, you know, everything since, because you have to remember, in 85, he was still pretty young. He was one of the youngest Wadsworths considered. They originally wanted
Yeah.
like John Cleese or Rowan
Hmm.
Atkinson, who was
Hmm.
also fairly young, but
Right.
he
But Reed's a little
reads
older.
pretty young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tim
and
Curry
very
reads
and
younger.
yeah. So especially with he's all clean shaven, and he's
Hmm.
he's only clean shaven in so many roles.
Yeah.
He either has a shit ton of makeup on, or he's bearded like Long John Silver, or oh, there's another where he has significant facial hair, and I can't think of it at the moment. But in any event, or like, I mean, even like things like Scary Movie 2 or things like that.
Yes.
It sort of became like his look in the 90s and
Hmm.
2000s.
Hmm.
But he's clean shaven again, which really let you see that he really still has that smile. He still has
Yeah.
that very noticeable. I have it too. That little crease above your lips, above the widow's peak.
Mm.
That little lighthouse.
Hmm.
I don't know what that's referred to as.
Good question. I don't really either.
I know that the little heart is is not the widow's peak. The is the Cupid's arrow,
Cupid's bow.
Cupid's bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. It was really. I did
Wonderful.
fumble over a few words to say how much I loved them and how important their film was, and also how
Yeah.
Tim Curry. I did mention that I had played Frank in Rocky Horror, so that it was another real honor to see
Mm.
him. And listen, oh, you played Frank where? And I'm like, oh, in a shadow cast in New Jersey. But I just want to say, and I was like, it was all I was so flustered. I was Mrs.
Yeah.
Peacock. I was just like, oh, somebody's got to break the ice, and it might as well be me.
Are you
Um,
easily flustered around people you sort of admire, or because you are generally pretty articulate and pretty quick with your
when
words.
given, I didn't know how much time I had, and I didn't want to feel
Yeah.
rushed, and I didn't like kind of, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. When you're in my playground, if we're on the Zoom and
Hmm.
or if I'm, then it's a little easier.
Yeah, baby, we can talk.
Um, yeah. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't even really necessarily refer to it being starstruck. One of my major hellscapes is that I want to be as understood as clearly and cleanly as possible.
Yeah.
So, you can tell when I'm really agitated when I don't take the time to really articulate. You
Mm.
can tell I'm either upset or possibly drunk or in some sort of altered state. Because I have been told, depending on the situation of my drinking, not that I get drunk very often anymore, but in the past, I would be told, okay, gotta slow down. You're just a little too excited. Hang on.
Mm.
What do you say? What do you
I
say?
see. I
So
mean,
it's
I
sort
have
of
very,
and yeah.
very fond memories of you being on a stage in New York City hosting
Oh,
shows. And if you've had a few too many glasses of wine, boy, baby, can you talk.
Yes. Well,
The
that's the
gift
thing too.
of
Also,
the gab.
there is a difference between gabbing and mumbling.
That's
So
true. That's true.
if I still had purpose at that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
and I mean, I would get sloppy on occasion, but very rarely on the microphone. Usually after.
Yes,
Um,
I would agree with that. I never ever thought that you were sloppy on a microphone. You could keep going,
yeah.
but you were never sloppy. Maybe with the
Yeah.
exception of like a birthday like a birthday show that went a little crazy.
Well,
But on occasion, right? Everything in
yeah,
moderation, including moderation.
exactly. He only turned what 37 once.
That's right.
Um, But yeah, it was a true honor to meet them
Very
and then
cool.
watch the Q&A, some insights, some things I actually hadn't heard before. A lot of the heavy hitters, we're going to talk, Miss Leslie Ann Warren is there. We're going to talk about how Carrie Fisher was originally meant for Miss
Right.
Scarlet.
Right.
If Tim Curry is there, we're going to talk about how there was a fourth ending. If
Hmm.
uh if anyone is there, we're going to discuss, a little bit about how what came out during the press in the documentary. I do believe Jonathan Lynn even mentioned in the interviews that I love this note. One of the things he did was he brought all of the cast to a theater for a screening of his Girl Friday,
Hmm.
the
Oh
Rosalind
yeah.
Russell,
Yeah.
Cary Grant film, to
Sure.
give them an idea of the pace he wanted.
Right.
What a brilliant way of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. They really achieved that too.
They really did.
That beautiful pace,
They really
which is
did.
maybe one of the reasons. I mean, you said that Clue wasn't necessarily super successful because it came out with a bunch of other heavy hitters at the time, but
It had a
also
lot of
it kind
going
of
on, yeah.
harkened back to maybe a style of filmmaking or dialogue in particular that wasn't necessarily contemporary at the time. It wasn't Meryl Streep and Sophie's Choice, right? It wasn't,
Hmm.
well, and I happened to pull up a list of some movies that came out concurrently, and we have Rocky Four, Spies Like Us, Out of Africa, The Color Purple. So like real,
Spies might be the closest
yeah,
of
of all of
that,
them,
of
absolutely.
all of them, yeah. And it's really interesting because, again, the film takes place in 1954.
Right.
So it also is, in fact, a period piece.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the references have to do with McCarthyism and have to
Hmm.
do with post World War II and
Yeah.
pre Vietnam, pre
Hmm.
um, other situations that we sort of have like a dramatic irony awareness
Yeah.
about.
It was like too soon and too late for some of those subject
Yeah,
matters, right? Yeah, I agree.
yeah, yeah. And I was
But
told, I remember hearing about a couple of other films like Hair and films like that, the adaptation of Hair with Milos Forman.
mhm.
One of the reasons that that didn't hit was because it would quote too soon again. You kind
Yeah.
of have to give decade defining eras
Hmm.
30 years, 25, 30 years. And that's why we're getting a lot of Y2K shit now, because we're at that point again.
Yeah, that's true.
Nostalgia has a point where you need some breathing room.
It needs to be immediate or it needs some time and space. I mean, in
Right.
some ways, I think that, the Rent film, which is not necessarily the best film, the Chris Columbus version of Rent,
No.
I
Good
think that
soundtrack.
was a
I like the
great
soundtrack.
soundtrack. Yeah, good
Yeah.
cast. I think one of the things that was difficult about that was it was telling a story too soon and not soon enough for that time period. When
Yes.
Rent came out in the late 90s, it was telling a story that was only about 8 to 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when it comes out with Christopher Columbus, it's not in that sweet spot of when we want
Right.
to tell that story or when we can define that era, when we can stylistically make choices that make it really
Hmm.
distinct. And so Rent becomes this sort of like weird, ambiguous wash, and there's no real tone point of view
Hmm.
or time perspective. And so maybe that's what happened here with Clue, but it's interesting. The choices were so specific in Clue that today it's so distinct, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
such a
that's the other thing.
product.
An interesting thing about Rent is the fact that that show took so long. And folks, we'll get to Murder Show in a second, please. One of the reasons that Rent is some of the way that it is it took so long to produce that by 96,
Yeah.
which is really when it hit and a global hit, like
Hmm.
a huge monumental, well, at least a national hit. It set in sort of an ambiguous late 80s, early 90s situation because that's when
Right.
it was written and that's what was going on. And
Hmm.
our perspectives on HIV had already started to adjust. Our perspectives on
Right.
homosexuality and the gay panic of HIV had already started to adjust.
Right.
And then that show really becomes a commentary on poverty and capitalism more than it really is
Oh,
about
absolutely.
HIV
Yeah. Which
and
was the
AIDS.
impetus in the first place, right? It was that
Right.
taking the idea of La Boheme and finding something current, very current,
Hmm.
that was adaptable, when in fact just like you said, it turned into something else. Now we think of Rent more as sort of like a capitalist versus a liberated sort of artistic workforce and things like that. Obviously,
Hmm.
the health storyline is really critical, but
Well, it is because of the class system, though. That's the
yeah,
other thing,
yeah,
is that the only reason that Mimi is cruelly in danger is because she lives on the street.
yeah,
If she
right,
would had Magic Johnson money, well, that wouldn't have necessarily been the same.
right.
And because she's a sex worker, essentially,
Hmm.
I mean, they do call her a stripper or an exotic dancer, but I think the implication is also there, depending on how you play it, that she also possibly did full service. Is her life has somewhat less meaning in that era as well than someone like Ryan White
Hmm.
or even
Right,
Rock Hudson, who
right.
have prestige associated with them and
Yeah,
whiteness as well. But as
yeah,
I also said, with Magic Johnson, he was one of the first Black Americans and certainly people of color to really help reshape HIV
definitely,
and AIDS
definitely.
fear.
Yeah.
But also Clue in '85. That's before like the Diesel hit of Batman and Dick
Hmm.
Tracy,
Hmm.
Rocketeer, and the
Those sort of
Phantom, the
childlike
Shadow,
games and
Darkman.
series and those sort of
Yeah.
very properties directed at children, but then sort of leveled up for adult audiences too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Highly stylized.
very that.
Highly stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have I think I've said on the pod before that I am pro remake as long as it's good and as long as it's done by people who know what the fuck they're doing and the
Yeah.
studio doesn't fuck with it.
Hmm.
They did ask, and again, if you're at a Clue Q&A, they're going to ask, what do you think about the potential of a remake? They've been talking about remakes since the 2000s. I remember Entertainment Weekly mentioned possibly recasting it with the Christopher Guest Collective. And I thought that actually
Hmm.
sounds genius.
That's an
But
interesting point of view. Yeah.
it is, it really is. Can you imagine someone like Catherine O'Hara as Miss
Oh my
Scarlet
gosh.
or Parker Posey as Mrs. White or
Yes,
something like
yes.
that? Like
What about Jennifer Coolidge as Miss Peacock?
all for it. I mean, at
All
that
for
point,
it.
she would have been an ingenue. So they
Hmm.
probably would have thrown her at that or something like that too.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Um, but yes, that's one of the great things about abroad and a character actor is that one of the reasons that they still have faces and they still are able to work in the creaks and crawls that they do is
Hmm.
because they're playing often real people. They're
Hmm.
playing odd and unique people, so there's no necessarily requirement for Botox in the same fashion. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some sprinkling. I mean, I'm not gonna tell stories out of about anyone's medical procedures. But for 80 years old, Leslie Ann Warren looks fucking amazing.
Oh my God. The pictures you posted, I couldn't believe it.
Stunning,
Stunning.
stunning, stunning,
Stunning.
stunning, stunning. Um,
Like a good
yeah.
cheese, like a fine wine. She is better and
And she was
better
a
all the
dancer. I
time.
don't, have you ever seen her in the Muppets? She was a
Of
legit
course. Yes.
dancer.
I mean,
So,
I loved her all the way
um,
back to the Cinderella days. I mean, I
oh, there
watched
you have
that
it. Yeah.
ad nauseum as a child. And so Leslie Ann Warren was my Cinderella, not the Walt Disney version. It was Leslie Ann Warren on that TV stage screen, right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So a true delight, a true delight.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, really, what is it? They always say, don't meet your icons, don't meet your, like, but you know what? Go and witness what you're able to and be
Absolutely.
polite. I'd say the respect that I heard and felt in that line of the people waiting to meet these individuals, um, the graciousness, because this again, and we put this pressure on actors all the time about a job that they had for at most 3 months
Hmm.
that they're supposed to have fond memories of. They're supposed to have photographic memories of because we're demanding answers, we're
Right.
demanding
Right.
info, and they were just working actors.
Yeah, and sometimes those
And
those films were not fun to make. Sometimes they were
yeah,
hellish. I mean,
Yeah.
even Susan Sarandon, we're talking Rocking Horror Picture Show. She talked about being wet the whole time and how miserable
It,
she was, right?
if we, you know what, if we're gonna have Susan Sarandon talk about Rocky Horror, we're gonna talk about how she got pneumonia. That's
Yeah.
gonna come up
It's
too.
coming up,
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes, it
I love
is.
the lore of it all. I love that
Yeah.
these little very minute periods of time turn into these legendary stories, right? That we will
Yeah.
tell forever and ever. Meanwhile, something else that she did 2 months prior, we don't give two fucks about, right?
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing too, is that the longevity of these careers. I mean, I was talking to another person who was there about hey Meg, if you're listening, I did tell you that this exists.
Hi,
If you're
Meg.
listening. Hi Meg. That Leslie Ann Warren in something like Burglar with Whoopi Goldberg or Victor Victoria with Julie Andrews and Robert
Hmm.
Preston. And she's one of the first things she'll do is talk about how amazing it was to work with other people.
Yeah.
And in that way, she gives me a lot of Betty White energy because Betty White was one of those people who would be one of the first people to talk about the writers and
Yeah.
the cast.
Very gracious, right?
Yeah.
Very
And talk about you're
gracious.
only as good as the material and the
Hmm.
people that you're working with. And that absolutely, I think, is something that I think of a certain echelon
Right.
and
Right.
prestige of acting you learn.
Right.
And then you do silly stuff too because you want to,
Hmm.
and because you need to, and because you need to.
Yeah, it's interesting you say there was so much respect in that meet and greet line. It's not this, and frankly, the person at the end of that meet and greet line will determine the quality of person in the line, right? Like you're not going to
Mm,
get the same meet and greet line in a drag race show, right? Where you're meeting some of the queens, right? There's a different level of sort of respect that someone like Leslie Ann Warren and Tim Curry will bring out. And so
yes,
that's kind of
yes,
special to find yourself in that
yeah.
community of people. I think there's a higher level or maybe a more grounded type of respect in those people
Hmm.
than you would see in sort of like going to a concert, right? With a
Right,
top 40
right.
artist or something. And so it's what a cool opportunity to meet people who are sort of in your tribe too. I'm so jealous. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, there's a billion things I wish I had said,
Yeah. Of course
but I
there
don't.
are.
I know,
There always
I
will be.
know, I know. And I guess I said Leslie Warren's coming back for Palm Springs for a one-woman show called In My Own Little Corner.
Oh God.
And I know it's in March, and I'm looking at tickets. The husband was very cool about coming. He's a Rocky Horror fan.
Yeah.
So when we met Barry Bostwick, one of the first things he said, I've talked about how he's in academia before. One of the first things he said is how he has mentioned Rocky Horror in his queer studies and
Oh
as a
yeah.
cultural movement. And Barry Bostwick was very flattered by that. That the show not only speaks on a personal level, but also in that sense
Right.
for multi generations.
Oh my gosh. And Barry Bostwick, what a
Um,
babe. Sorry.
yeah, it was sweet. He was sweet. He was sweet to meet.
Hmm.
And we had a little bit more time with him too, because that was also a meet and greet. This
Yeah.
was a photo op,
Right.
really, is really what it was. I think I had all of 45 seconds where I got to say hello and speak with them. And then the photographer was like, okay, you can stand in the center there. Like just so
Hmm.
so take your pictures. But it
Keep
was
it
also very
moving.
cool
Keep it
because
moving.
he actually did take a number of photos while I was just talking to them. So
Yeah.
that was very nice of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did fully enjoy myself. Very
Amazing.
intrigued.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Well,
I'll uh I'll share more about my Clue love when we get to the Nun episode, which is coming.
it's
It's
right
one of
around
my
the
very
corner.
favorites.
I believe it's
Ugh!
next, isn't it? Yeah.
It's one of my
After this
favorite.
one. Yeah. Well, speaking of old broads, like let's talk about some old broads.
Yeah. Well, darlings, thank you for indulging me a little moment there. Where were we? I'll tell
Where
you where
were
we
we?
were.
Quebec,
Quebec of all places. Have you
of
been?
all places. That's Montreal, right?
Montreal's in Quebec. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I have been, and I love Montreal. I love it so much. I actually tried to move there at one point. I thought it was so fantastic. In this case, Jessica is actually going to serve as a witness, but not for something that she's already been a part of, which is a little frustrating, right? That comes later.
Yeah, this is sort of a inversion to the trial episode
Yeah.
where a lot of it's done in flashbacks.
Hmm.
Um, it's an interesting idea. This is another somewhat experimental. I wonder if this was a holdover from season three.
Mm.
But
Mm.
it's full of pith and vinegar and
Definitely.
big performances, particularly from our prosecutor,
Oh yeah.
um,
Uh, Attorney Quayle.
Attorney Quayle, who is
Very aptly named.
giving Dick Van Dyke as the banker in Mary Poppins.
It's so true. Oh my
Full
gosh.
on, full on.
Is that Dick Van Dyke? Is
Um,
that Dick Van Dyke?
yeah,
It's a monstrous performance. That's the only word I can think of to describe it. It'd be fun
here's
to dig
another one
into.
who I would have loved to have seen on Murder She Wrote. Dick Van Dyke. He
He's
did
very
do the
suited for it, isn't he?
he did the first episode of Matlock where he played against type,
Yeah.
and it's a good subversion.
He's fun to watch do something against type, right? Because he's so known for being this bright,
Jovial,
charming, jovial,
yeah,
congenial, good
sweetheart.
old Dick, right? Yeah. Such a sweetie.
But this actor who is not Dick Van Dyke, what is his name? He
Patrick
is
McGoohan. Patrick McGoohan. I don't know if that's the way to say it, but it's McGoohan. So makes me kind of want to call him Mr.
McGoohan.
Magoo.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, he was number six in The Prisoner. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. That's coming to mind. He was the doctor in Scanners. Okay. It's all coming together. He had multiple
He was the
appearances
judge in A
in
Time to Kill, which is a wonderful movie.
a number of Columbos. So yeah, you know
Mhm.
what? Dyed in the wool character actor. We love to see
Definitely.
it.
All over the board, right? And he really is.
Love to see it.
Yeah. He's infuriating here, but in a good way,
He is.
right?
It's so funny to see just this level of, I don't know, it's just this just full disregard for
But
Jessica, who he really needs, really.
or for anybody's character for that matter, right? Everyone is to be disposed of once he's done. The pomposity of it all. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pompous. Yeah. So why are we here? All right, Jessica's here.
She's been
And she doesn't
called
even know why she's here.
to Attorney Oliver Quayle's office, and she's met with charm by his assistant Barnaby. I love that his name's Barnaby, and he's
Yeah.
frightfully British.
Scrivener through and through.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And it's because she is being called as a witness because she was present when a murder or a death took place for her buds. Specifically, her friend Jim Harlan, who is played by our murderer in The Frame Fits, if the frame fits.
Yes. Yes.
Sleazy, sleazy, sleazy.
This is one of a
Best,
few appearances still.
yeah, yeah.
He still has
He
got a
shows
couple more
up.
in him
I mean,
yeah.
he's perfect for Murder, She Wrote because there is something a little slimy about him, even playing a good guy like this, who we know
Mhm.
is not guilty of this murder right off the bat. That's why she's here. He is being charged with murder by the Crown in Quebec for killing his wife in a fire.
We get this real quick glimpse of them arriving at the estate, and we get
Hmm.
this suspicious look from the gardener who is trimming the hedge in slacks. And I just find that such an odd little note.
This is so
Did you
strange.
let me see if I get back there.
What a character choice. What a costuming
Uh
choice. You know, I was in a production of
there
The
he is
Fantastics
in
once.
a
He
fucking
is
belt.
fully in slacks and
You
a
can
belt.
see his underwear line.
Oh my
Like, look,
God.
it's not bad, really.
What are we do? Is that, I mean, the shape's not terrible.
It's no, it's all
I actually
good.
have in my notes for this episode, the gardener, Clay McLeod is his name. He's kind of cute.
He is one of those. Oh, he's in. I know that face.
Oh
Individuals.
yeah.
In fact, is this a return visit for him in Murder She Wrote, or is
I
this?
can't remember if he's in another one that we've seen already or here, let's find out.
Let's see. I'm looking. I'm looking. Nope, this is it. This is his one and
This the
done.
one? He feels so
Yeah,
suited for these types of roles, and I mean, he was a character actor through the '80s,
right.
prolific,
Well, he also
tons and tons of
he
work.
resembles the very nice gentleman that we meet on the cruise who helps with Pepper. He reminds a bit of
Oh yeah.
that sort of styling and that sort
Hmm.
of that type,
Definitely.
which they love.
And the man aged well. If you take a peek at his IMDb, he's a good-looking older guy.
Yeah.
No complaints
Yeah.
here. He was in the gay Cruising, the Al Pacino film Cruising.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Yep, yep, yep.
friend of Dorothy. Not
It's a
quite,
little.
but
Well,
honorary friend of Dorothy.
honorary. Yeah,
Yeah.
acting.
I'm an actor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so we met. We're busy talking about pretty
We're so
men.
all
I know.
around. Yeah.
We
But
met
we had a
Jim's.
fabulously coiffed individual,
Oh, sure.
two fabulously coiffed individuals. Look at this
Mhm.
sleek. It's I
Lovely
don't.
ladies. They're looking
What is
nice.
this called? It's not a blowout. This right here, where it sort of is like, is
Ugh.
that just a shit ton of hairspray?
There's a lot of hairspray going on. My mother had this hair in 1989. So,
This is Juliet Mills as
no,
Annette.
this isn't Juliet.
No,
This is Marilyn Hassett as Patricia Harlan. This is his
this is
wife.
Juliet. Who is this here?
And then that's Diane Kay as Monica Blaine.
Oh,
So
I
we
think
have
I was may have been.
Patricia.
Yes, I think we were looking at the screen at two different moments
Oh,
when I
maybe
said that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in the checks is
is Monica.
is Monica. Yes, I
Yep.
meant the this hairspray situation where she's all like this for
Oh,
Juliet Mills.
that. Yes, yes. Well,
Yes.
that's not Juliet Mills.
No?
No, Juliet Mills is the attorney.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then I still am confused.
Marilyn Hassett
Too
plays
many women.
Patricia. She's the one in the blue, and Diane Kay plays Monica. She's the one in the check. And Patricia is Jim's
Uh,
brand new pretty wife, right?
got it.
Just married in, and Monica, who has cotton candy Rosen Island hair, is playing her
Yes.
buddy from school or something.
That
Well,
sounds
so
right.
they
But
say. So they
I'm
say.
sorry. The true star, and really the reason we're all here, is Claire
Yeah,
Trevor as Judith Harlan.
yeah.
This grand dame moment here. Look at her. She's Ann Richards, for one thing, former governor of Tennessee, or of
Oh,
Texas, rather.
sure. This is
Look
it.
at that.
Yeah.
And a little bit of that secretary that we saw for a scant
I
second
was
in Days
thinking the
Dwindle
same
Down.
thing. Yes. Just so beautifully put together in this regal
Ah,
royal blue. So lovely. And
blue on blue. It's very Dorothy, actually.
it is kind of.
It
She
is
is
very
the
much that blue
matriarch.
that Dorothy wore in oh, why did she wear that deep blue? I forget. I'm still in Anaheim.
Right.
Ah,
So she's playing the mother. She's playing Jim's mother. So we
right.
have
And
this
this
is
is
the
all being
cast of
told via
characters.
flashback. This is
Right.
all like
We're
so
getting
we're
a
having the
non-linear
past,
story here.
the present, and then we get to more stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Jessica's not
cast of
even in
characters.
these scenes yet.
No, she's not. No, she was. She came to visit. That's why she's been called as a witness because she was there the night that. Okay, okay, let me lay it out. Let me take 2 minutes to lay it out. We have our cast of characters. Jim, he's an author who's friends with Jessica because they're buddy buddy because they're both writers. There's his new wife, Patricia, who's the lovely blowout. There's Patricia's friend, Monica. She's the
The
Rosen Island
love.
Cotton
It's
Candy.
my favorite thriller noir book.
And then we have Claire Trevor as Judith. She's Jim's mother, and she is a matriarch of what seems to be a pretty wealthy household, right? So that's our cast of characters. Then we have, of course, the hot gardener,
Mhm.
because we got to have a hot service guy. Why not?
We had to
And
suffer through Wings Hauser. Let's give us some candy here. It's just enough.
hot silk, baby.
Mm,
This is a step up for sure when it
indeed.
comes to gardeners. But so
There's
we're
this
in flashback sequence, and what?
just the way that okay, this delivery here. Can we get a little audio on
Yeah,
our matriarch?
yeah.
Jim tells me that you've been very flattering about his book, Jessica. I thought only mothers had that kind of blind admiration.
It wasn't flattery, and certainly not blind.
Delighted, of course. Not that I'm an expert, or even much of a reader. Jim, will you please stop fiddling with that watch? She knows very well we always dine at 8:30. Well, no doubt she's been delayed taking that friend of hers to the airport.
Actually, we took Monica to the airport at least.
She gets whispered into her ear
That was
by
after
the
dropping
serviceman,
off.
and she clutches her pearls.
Clutches. There's a lot of clutching.
Oh, there's a fire at the country house. So Tricia's dead. We have a dead body already. Off screen. Yeah.
I mean, pretty quick too. 6 minutes in, we get our murder, our death, I should say.
Yeah. And that is the question, isn't it? Who knew? Who could have? Was it an
Who could
accident?
have?
What's the storyline?
Where was everyone? Where?
Yeah.
When? How? Why? Who am I? Where am I?
But immediate suspicion, because anyone who makes a point to tell the time is already going to be a suspect. Because anytime you mention when time happens, there's a reason, and that's an alibi.
Oh, we're going to look at
our
all
matriarch,
of it, right? With a fine-tooth comb, we're going to get into this shit. Well, they also make a point of saying
always dine at 8:30. The more money you have, the later in the evening you eat. I swear.
I mean, isn't that what we all want?
Ah,
People who eat at 5, please.
oh, the early bird special.
Not for me. Not for me.
That's what
I
the
live
poor
the high
people
life.
do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, then they make a point of saying that she eats when she follows her schedule to a T. She is a control freak, Judith.
Yes.
She is, and we heard how she was sort of admonishing her son for fidgeting, right? She is
Rita
a
Bristol.
ball busting. Yes, Rita Bristol. Barry. Mm-hmm.
Murder mysteries love that type of a sort of evil stepmother kind of
A little bit, yeah.
stately.
Overbearing
Yeah.
matriarch sort of figure. I mean, we kind of see that in
Lady Trammell.
Death Stalks the Big Top, right? Like Courtney Cox's grandmother, who is just
Yes,
a
and a
control freak.
little Florence Henderson in that too.
Yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We love this kind of broad
Yes.
because she becomes an adversary for the other characters in some way, right? Like she's always going to butt up against some sort of resistance from somebody else.
Well, it's really fascinating because a lot of times those roles or those characters are people that, and we'll get into this a little bit too, also in the Emma McGill episode that's coming up in a little while, is that it is a lot of class discussion. And very frequently, those women did not come from money. They married money.
Exactly.
And so they are clinging to that status. This also comes up in the Nun episode coming up too. The Old Habits, because there's this association of small town girl or middle class or common marrying up, and then suddenly they're the ones who survived. Well, then they're going to hold on to that legacy.
And we kind of see this in life too, this like the establishment versus the young ingenue, right? Like even the British royal family versus Meghan Markle or Princess Diana, right? Like it's
procedure.
That's sort of how this is coded, right? Maybe in a higher scale or whatnot, but it's right. This is how things are done. This is the way things have always been done. You have to live up to our standards versus the young upstart who has a fresh point of view.
Right. It's that old money versus new money thing too. It's also it's a very it's all, I mean, watch Titanic, people. It's in there. Like but there's something to be said also. I mean, Gloria Stewart says, friend of the pod, says in Titanic that when Leo DiCaprio, Jack is in tuxedo mode, that everyone looks at him as like, oh, new money, obviously, but still part of the club.
Oh yeah.
Like there is still sort of a hierarchy within the systems, which is sort of fascinating too.
Absolutely. Well, and he's someone who can play the part, right? He's savvy enough to slip in and know how to charm because he has charisma.
And one
Oh,
of
here
the
we go.
oh yes, well before we as we just to follow that is that one of the reasons that oh the mother look at that hat, oh my God,
Hmm.
Star Trek Guinan right there.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
one of the reasons she seems to be so pithy about her son's behavior is he's acting a little bit more common. He's allowing himself to be just a
Yeah.
little bit less, a
Yeah.
little bit less.
Like, pull it
So now
together, bitch.
we're in the courtroom here because we're at the discussion. Oh, look who it is. It's our Dean Tucker.
It sure is. Oh, and he's shown up in other Murder She Wrotes at this point too, I
He
believe.
is he doesn't even know where the bathroom is. Please don't have him do any work for Blanche at the college.
Oh, don't bring this to me now.
I don't even ever heard of 7B. Uh, but he intimates that the gas line to the water heater had been disconnected,
Right.
and it was deliberately disconnected, which means that that explosion which led to the fire was in fact murder.
Which, did we even mention it? It was a fire in the country house? Yes.
Oh yes, we got a
Yes.
little taste of that, which
Yeah.
killed our lovely
Our
blowout.
Patricia,
The
our lovely
lovely
blowout.
blowout. It's like the sequel to the Lovely Bones.
Do we really need to know
Um,
her name? No.
no,
As
Patricia.
as
I mean, they say it
as
a
we know
lot, though.
now,
They
what's
do
very
say it a
important
lot.
here is what you look like. I want to give a shout out to the prosecuting attorney here, who is Juliet Mills. This is Juliet Mills, and I know her from when she was on the soap opera Passions. She was like the eccentric old lady who had a weird
Who
enchanted
hung,
doll.
who hung out with Timmy? That's
Yes,
her?
that's her.
Holy shit!
I know. I think she's marvelous in this episode. She is, I mean, I know we love Claire Trevor. I actually have a softer spot for Judith Mills in this part. I
Oh
think
my
she is
goodness.
doing the job. And so,
Tabitha.
yeah, Tabitha, that's right. Isn't that crazy?
Oh shit. I
And
love
of course,
actors.
she is related to lovely Haley Mills.
No shit. See that you blowing my mind again. I didn't
Oh,
know that.
here we go.
I love when you surprise me like this, Petra.
So Victor always knows.
I
And
don't
so when
even
I come in with something, it's a real delight, a treasure for me. Yeah, this is Haley Mills's sister.
no shit.
Yeah, and
Not her twin though. She did not appear in the Parent Trap.
no, not her twin.
She's very pretty. She also gives me like a little bit in her youth gives me a little Terry Garr ever so
Oh yeah,
slightly.
absolutely.
Just a tad.
Yeah,
Um
and she had a great career.
oh, and she's the daughter of John Mills. Okay, I forgot
Yeah,
that. Okay, well that means because Haley Mills obviously is the daughter of John Mills.
right,
Okay, it all coming
right.
together. Sorry.
An entertainment
Um
family, a nepo baby.
yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Well,
again,
at that
she's
point, what did
just
we even call what
marvelous
did we call
here.
them? We called them dynasties or something back then. That was a
Something
little
like that.
different. The
Yeah, yeah.
Barrymores, you know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, maybe time will be kinder to the Nepo babies of the present day
Yeah.
by virtue of enough time passing.
Well,
But
we'll see what their legacies are, right? And that will probably determine how kind we are toward them, whether they brought anything to the table or whether they were just
that's true.
ushered in by money.
I mean, I think like one of what's probably one of the most famous examples is Jamie Lee Curtis, who, as we know,
Absolutely.
will eventually be Jessica Fletcher, or at least
Hmm.
Jessica Fletcher adjacent. We don't actually know the plot
Come
of
on,
that
full
movie yet.
circle, right?
Yeah, but but for a lot, but the funny thing is that that's your foot in the door. A lot of audiences these days, like your 20 somethings, unless they are properly educated, and you know what, the children are our future, but we have to do the work.
Hmm.
They may not know who Tony Curtis is.
No,
They may not know who Janet Leigh is, but they know Jamie Lee Curtis.
they sure do. Yeah. She has, I mean, frankly, Tony Curtis, obviously, Janet Leigh, huge careers. I would
Huge.
venture to say Jamie Lee Curtis's career is bigger.
Yes, because of
I
her
think she is
opportunities and
more
her work in genre.
prolific. Yeah, I think her
Yeah.
work in genre and so many iconic roles, right? In Disney properties, in genre properties, horror, in action films, right?
She's an
She has
elevated
transcended.
she's an elevated character actor.
And now she's doing that beautiful sort of older woman character work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she
She gets
started off
those.
as an ingenue,
Hmm.
basically.
And now
With
she's being
nothing parts.
acknowledged in like award scenarios, finally, after many, many, many years
I
of being
know. I
more like
still
a
feel
blockbuster draw.
I still feel so bad that she gets the flack of daring to win an Academy Award, which she had no choice in.
How dare
And
she?
when and the argument is that she didn't deserve it. I understand. I understand. I like Angela Bassett too, and I also thought that her
She did the
co-star
thing.
in everything, please, and everything everywhere all at once was genius.
Yeah,
But I also understand the dynamics of the world, and she also was very good.
yeah. I mean, let's
She
be
also
honest.
should have
People do
won years
not win
ago.
Academy Awards necessarily for performances. They win for collective careers. They win for
Impact.
impact. They win for things they've
Yeah.
lost to in the
Yeah. And
past,
frankly,
right?
Jamie Lee Curtis could have won for something else by
Yeah,
now. She
yeah,
absolutely could have.
yeah.
So she certainly has other acting awards in her bank. So
Hmm.
yeah. Oh well.
Well, we're back in the courtroom.
Eh.
I'm finding this a difficult episode to sort of follow and talk about because it's kind of all over the place. And so now I feel all over the place. Our gardener got called to the stand and basically said that he heard Jim and Patricia having an argument and he wanted to get a divorce or something, or she wanted to get a divorce. And he said to her, apparently, allegedly in this argument, I'll see you dead first.
Yeah.
And Jim refutes this. They're also, I actually didn't notice this in my rewatch before, but this time I noticed the gardener winking at Patricia when she got out of the car earlier. So he's got a thing for her. There's some sort of, he has some sort of allegiance to her. And so we can't really be sure if he's being honest or not.
Well, that's the thing to this. So this is present tense. So this isn't the memory, but this is all of this testimony
Yeah.
is this brings up an interesting plot point that every once in a while I can wave away because if we're doing flashbacks,
Hmm.
is the flashback a
And accurate.
recalled? Is it just the depiction of what is
Uh-huh.
recalled or what is being spoken, or is it literally as if a camera was there that
Right.
time?
Who's the voice?
Right.
Is it first person? Is it
Who's
third
the
person?
lens?
What story are we telling here? Whose story are we telling here?
Right.
Is it the
Whose agenda
testimony?
is then added to,
Is it the
and whose
memory?
weight? Yeah.
Yeah.
And as like we can Rashomon all we want, but when we're
Hmm.
only given one, we as an audience have to then decide. And that's why I always find it really interesting when I see criticisms of, well, that didn't happen because it doesn't fit in continuity. Golden Girls
Hmm.
does this all the time. And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, because Sophia's telling the story. It didn't happen that way. What are you talking about? It
She's
didn't happen that way.
embellishing. She's ginger
She's
minging, please.
she's she's telling the story in that story, and she even said she there's even a lampshade on that at one point. She's like moving, touching. I wonder if it's true. Like it's
Uh-huh.
just with a surprise ending.
Yeah.
Um, damn that stroke. Like, and I like that. I actually think that that's
Yeah. I like the acknowledgement of it because it sort of it tells us, well, we can't really be sure. Anything could have
right.
happened. Well, and frankly, it's how our memory works, right? Like we don't remember things exactly as they happened. We remember things because we have certain emotional attachments to them. We have feelings associated with those memories, and those memories change over time depending on
Mm-hmm.
what sort of
Mm-hmm.
mental state we're in, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
There's
also how many
actually
times we've repeated things and
right,
how that has then colored because then we forget the real one. We
right,
remember the safe one or we remember
right.
the clean one, the interview bite.
Well, and there's something that was just revealed on sort of in sort of the physics field, and I'm not going to speak to it very articulately because I'm not a I'm not a scientist, but there has been proof now that our current perception of things can actually change the past.
Mm,
Isn't that
hmm
wild? It actually
hmm
can change the sequence of events that has led up to here, which sort of opens up a huge can of worms as far as sort of what metaphysics tell us about our existence here on Earth, right? But our current perception of things can change, can actually cycle back and change what happened in the past.
Well, if everything truly is happening everywhere all at once,
There you go.
speaking of, there is that whole, I guess it's a theory. Is that what that's a theory of, I believe.
Yeah,
Um,
again, I am not a scientist,
no, you play one on
but
TV. Uh, but that's the th it's yeah, it's all, and I think of this all the time. The writer Anais Nin said, "We don't see people as they are; we see them as we are." And one of
Everything's a
the reasons
projection.
that, right, and one of the reasons that quote has always stuck with me since I first heard it, sometime in the early 2000s, in the film Kissing Jessica Stein, actually, I can tell you that.
Ah,
Look at me. Um, remembering that of all things. But the
obscure
reason that
reference.
that stuck with me is because it's like that's deceptively deep. Like that's deceptively simple. That's like if you really
Yeah.
think about that, like, oh shit.
Mm.
It really is. It really is. Everything is color. And this is why I don't believe that justice truly is blind. This is why I don't really believe that you can be impartial. I believe everyone has an agenda, and that's not our fault
Implicit
necessarily.
bias is impossible to work around.
Exactly.
It's implicit. It's implicit because it's there, right?
And that's why we have juries. That's why we have
Yeah.
multiple people on a jury,
Yeah.
is for all of those different perspectives.
So someone like
Um,
Jessica can change everybody's mind.
right. Well, and that's also why the concept of an echo chamber is also deceptive as well, because
Yeah.
it's like, no, but we're all, how you hear that echo
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
different.
I was thinking about this morning actually, and sort of the political environment we exist in, how some people have the nerve to say, well, most people think this. Well, most people think that. It's like those are such fallacy statements, right?
Hyperbole is fun, but let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
Let's be real. You don't get to
That's not even
speak
a
for
statistic.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, it's just real. This is real. This is that actually has to do with the episode. So
It sure does. It sure does. I
yeah.
mean, in the episode is a lot of back and forth, so it's easy to go on tangents, right? I just like to
Yeah.
call out our
This
secretary
really
here.
this is really simple.
Oh,
This
it
is
is very
really
simple.
by the book. And the only reason that this is interesting is because it's chopped
Yeah.
into things.
This could be
Yes, you were saying
told entirely in the
fully
flashbacks.
linear if they wanted to.
We don't need the case here.
No.
It's a gimmick. It's a storytelling device to make it more interesting or to step outside of the box of what our
Yeah.
typical Murder She Wrote mystery is. It's a device. Just
And
like
love
Trial
it.
by Jury was a device, which we love.
Love it.
But this whole thing
Yeah.
could have happened when Jessica was here in Quebec before, right? She could have solved
Yep.
that murder in a few days, with the exception of sort of maybe the Monica Blaine element here. But even that is just like, oh, we can't find Monica. We can't find Monica. Where'd she
It's
go?
just some set dressing.
We,
Yeah.
it's just set dressing, right?
You had something you wanted to say about the secretary.
Oh, look at her.
Yes. I'm looking. I'm looking.
She has 3 credits to her IMDb, so she did not work a lot. But for some reason, she really stands out here for me as not a one scene wonder, but like just a lovely little dash of something silly and fun. She's this
You know,
little itty bitty thing, little bird-like thing with
yeah.
giant brown hair.
And usually we get the sexed up secretary.
Yeah. She's very atypical I mean, remember our no accounting for murder
Of
secretary
course.
and her hooker chic? No, this is not her.
Yeah. Our executive assistant in the recording studio. Yeah.
Yeah, not
This is a
here.
character that truly is working class
She's
and
just a
doing her
quiet
job.
background role and she's very suited. But I remember her
Mhm.
every time she's on. Look at her, even in the background,
I
way in the
know.
back of the
She's
frame,
doing
you can see her
business.
working at her desk. And
She was so
uh,
happy to get this job.
this is Dory Arnold as the secretary, and she doesn't even have a name, but I appreciate her so much. Give credit where credit's due.
Deep. That's I love. you got like this is the reason these shows last and
Uh-huh.
work is because of these tertiary bits. It's one of the reasons that I shouted out Mona in our postmortem because it's
Uh-huh.
a nothing role. It has very little to do with anything, but it tells
Yeah.
you a lot about Cabot Cove in those 30 seconds.
Totally.
I
And she
live for that
talks to
shit.
Jessica. She interacts with her. She interacts with the other characters in a very pragmatic way that sort of helps move the plot along. But she's a
Well,
nothing character, but she needs to be there.
because she saw in Jessica and Jessica saw in her that they share the same eyeshadow color, and they said kindred spirits. You want to talk about how we mention how you can tell when the makeup artist does everyone's makeup at the that
Uh-huh.
is kindred spirits.
We love this blue-gray color. Yeah.
Oh, we're in Canada. I saw Mountie. That's how you know.
That's how you know. That's how
You
you
can't go
know.
to England without seeing a Buckingham Palace guard. You can't go to New
Mm-mm.
Orleans without seeing Mardi Gras. Can't go to Canada without seeing a Mountie. All he's doing is pulling up or putting up a flag. But for some reason, we had to make sure we saw that to
Well,
remind us that we're not actually in San Bernardino. Like,
hit it home, baby. Hit it home. There's that Canadian flag going down
he's pulling
now.
it down, going
Yeah.
down. Well, because
I want.
technically, flag protocol is that you take it down every day. You're not
Oh
supposed
yeah.
to allow your
Oh yeah.
flag to be affected by the elements. So,
Ugh, it's
oh
some
my
nationalistic
goodness.
nonsense. But
I know.
we digress. Okay, what's happening? Where are we now?
Jessica is hanging out with our main suspect here,
Jim.
uh, Jim. And the thing is, of course, he was at the dinner table when they found out about the fire.
Right.
So he would have had to have gone to the house first, cut the gas line, pre-planned everything,
Hmm.
and then allow the events to fold while he was away, which
Right.
is possible.
Right.
Um, but Jessica doesn't buy it because she truly believed that he loved Patricia as well.
One, because he's kind of an imbecile, right? Like he doesn't this is not our murder in a frame fits. He's even his mother points out that he's kind of how does she describe it? Like
He is wet.
he's kind of a silly boy, right? And
Yeah.
he's frankly he's not put together enough to come up with this murder. And we know that. Jessica knows that because she's his friend, obviously, and we know most of the time when it's her friend and he's sort of the framed ingenue that she got to get him out of trouble. And that's what she's here to do. So,
Right.
do we ever think he's a suspect? I didn't. I don't.
No, this is a how do we I mean, this is wits for the defense. This is how we
Yeah.
get him out of it. Like this is
Yeah.
let's save him.
Yeah.
We do this all the time in a Jessica universe. We just did this
Right.
with our fashion uh designer. We
Hmm.
know it's not her. We know
We
it's not
we
her.
know. Ooh, I would
Um,
love to hear this scene, by the way. Jessica's gone to visit our gardener, played by Clay McLeod, and she's playing dumb, and I love when she's playing dumb.
it's a manipulation scene.
Uh-huh.
It's a contender for our postmortem. Look at him, all covered in grease.
I know, because he's not just a gardener, he is also a mechanic and a general handyman.
I
I'd
bet he
like to
is.
handy that man.
You want a beer?
Already we see a change in her
Very
demeanor.
much, but I don't think I better.
Dottie.
I went out to the house. I think it's so important when you're writing to establish the feel of
Not him putting his leg up on the table, like full crotch on display.
There's nothing.
Lady, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can tell you.
You know, I thought your testimony was so interesting. I got the impression that more was going on than what the family had told me. I mean, Jim Harland is such
She's so
a
soft.
fine young man. But you know what they say about still
Wimps.
waters running deep.
He's one of those rich wimps.
Wimp.
Yeah, his wife is more woman than he could handle.
Oh, well, I don't suppose the Cabot Cove Gazette would want to print that. Do you think that he actually murdered her and then set the fire to cover it up?
All I know is she was dead before the fire started.
Oh, but how do you know that? Unless you actually saw him murder her.
I didn't see him do it. I'll tell you something. I went back there to get some wages that they owed me. I looked in the window. I saw her laying on the floor.
Oh, my goodness. You mean you saw her dead on the floor? Oh, I think I would have fainted. Didn't you call the police?
Lady, I stay pretty clear of the police. Matter of fact, if anybody asks me, I deny what I just told you.
The girls in Cabot Cove are never going to believe that I actually talked to the man who actually saw a dead body.
Meanwhile, she's seen about 1,000 dead bodies at this point.
Of course. Oh, it's genius. We always say she knows how to talk to people.
She does.
And that's how you talk to people.
She plays like busybody gossip so well. She's done it before and she'll do it again, right?
Oh, yeah.
The bar scene that we see her sort of twisting and dancing around, even when she's playing drunk on the boat in My Johnny Lies Over the Ocean, it's the same sort of archetype, right?
With a twist.
This sort of shallow, meddlesome busybody gossip, right?
But she knows to talk to him with awe. This nobody in town who no one looks at a second glance because he's a grease monkey, and she gives him respect. Go on. Oh, I want to hear all about this. And she knows how to do that in such a brilliant way.
Yeah.
Because he feels safe.
And seen, right?
And seen. Genius.
And she gets exactly what she needs from him too.
Genius. Oh, you can really see Tabitha in our prosecutor
in
now.
This hairstyle, yeah.
In this hairstyle.
This sort of blowout, another blowout
yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes. And this like brick red lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
Burgundy, practically.
She's a handsome lady. She really is very striking. In a very real person way, though. You know what I mean?
Why do you think they did this in Quebec, of all places?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't. Just to show that she's well-traveled? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I mean, just like we don't need to be here at the trial, except for the intrigue of a trial, it doesn't have to be in Quebec. It could be anywhere. Maybe it's because we've already had a trial episode, and so putting another trial in an American typical, what we'd expect that environment to be, this is just a way of changing it up without actually going too far from home.
I mean, as pageantry exists within the legal limits, the Canadians and the British do it at a different level.
Yes.
I mean, once you bring in lordship, you're already talking like at the crown. We would like to discuss, like, it's all very grand. It makes us look like peasants, frankly.
This sort of imperialistic way of doing things, right? Yeah.
And then again, of course, as stupid Americans, you can do anything and say, oh, this happens this way in Canada, and be like, oh, okay. Like, so they could actually this could be completely inaccurate, because what the hell do we know what Canadians did?
They said the crown. I guess it must be legitimate.
I guess that's true. Oh, like this is documentary footage.
It's plausible.
I also like this outfit for our prosecutor. It just looks so casual to me for a
It is. Lawyer? I mean, it's beautiful, but it is.
But that kind of belting situation.
Is she? They're wearing robes. Oh my God, they're wearing black robes.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them. I just realized that. So she's just sort of casually draping it over her lovely sage green pantsuit. There's something kind of fashion about it. I don't know. I'm kind of here for it.
They all look like they're about to, like, discuss the college graduates of the year. Like they all.
Well, graduates of 2026, we did it. Oh, so one little twist here was that J.B. Fletcher was brought to be a witness for the defense, and then he decided he didn't need her anymore. But then the Crown called Fletcher as a witness. The prosecution.
Yes. Yeah.
And so now our Quail is going to drag Jessica's name through the fucking mud.
I love this moment. Can we listen to a little bit of it?
Yeah, let's do.
I just love the way he phrases this.
Mrs. Fletcher, have you ever used the alias J.B. Fletcher?
Yes, on my books. They're my initials.
So you admit that you are a writer?
Well, I've never felt that.
That's hilarious to me.
What?
Not so far.
You admit you're a writer.
What? Admit what?
If you use the alias JP.
Call the publishing house, bitch. Like, yeah, what do you want?
Duplicitously.
I certainly do.
Court's side. J.B. Fletcher, have you any recollection of being committed to the State of Maine Institute for the Criminally Insane between the months of May and July in the year 1985?
Objection.
Sustained.
I was never committed anywhere. I entered the institution voluntarily.
Under the care of Dr. Sidney Bachman, who is a specialist in the field of criminal psychosis?
Yes, I was researching a book.
Indeed. What a perfect subterfuge.
The book was called Sanitarium of Death. It was dedicated to Dr. Bachman.
Out of gratitude, no doubt.
It's so
for the excellent care
fucked.
you
Oh my gosh.
Lordship, I must protest. Mr. Quayle is attempting to sneer with innuendo a woman of impeccable reputation and character, who comes from a respected family in New England.
Oh, and we're bringing up Grady now too.
Oh,
I
I
love
know.
it.
The niece, the other niece, the Grady, all people implicated in
It's
murder. He's nasty. It's one of those characters like what's our friend from Stage Struck, who's so insufferable and so immovable in their own idea of what they have to do.
Oh,
Merton P.
yeah.
Drock. Merton P. Drock.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. This is also really.
Is it not a fact, Mrs. Fletcher, that a niece of yours, Victoria Griffin, was arrested for murder last year?
Yes, but
Is
what
it not a fact
misunderstanding?
that another niece, Tracy McGill, was also arrested for murder?
Yes, but I can
And that
explain
your
that.
nephew, Grady Fletcher, was arrested not once but twice,
Yes, I know
also
how
on the
that
charge of
must seem.
homicide. Seems, madam, it seems that one of New England's most respected families is a breeding ground for homicidal maniacs.
The charges were dropped in every single one of those cases.
Dropped? Oh, yes, and indeed you must also be one of the most powerful families in your country. But I have no further questions.
They were innocent.
I am quite sure they were. You are dismissed, madam.
Your Lordship.
You may step down, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh, it's so good. What a dick.
How the judge lets this continue is so frustrating. And Jessica Fletcher is not easily rattled, but there she was.
She and I suffer from the same ailment of needing to be understood at all times.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you start picking things apart and taking things out of context and intentionally just saying half of a sentence
Mm-hmm.
and calling that the
Mhm.
truth, it's so annoying.
It's like
so annoying.
it's modern day dopamine rush culture, right? Like we'll say anything to get a reaction, particularly by pulling
So
it out
bad.
of context.
Yeah.
Oh, so now Jessica and our Juliet Mills prosecutor are getting buddy-buddy in the cafeteria.
Which is totally inappropriate.
Totally inappropriate.
Totally inappropriate.
Such a conflict of interest.
Again, same eye makeup.
They're bosom buddies. What are you talking about? By the way, Jessica in this sort of, it's not denim, but this sort of dark denim colored look, I
Wool.
love it.
Yeah.
She looks so
Yeah.
good in blue.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Blue is one of her power colors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and a car scene.
Car scene.
What's this traffic? This actually looks much better than, say, Death Takes a Dive.
Well, you mean because they're not speeding
They're not
as
super
if this is
speeding.
the longest block ever? It's just
What I'll
I
never
know.
understand is when they have these driving blue screen scenes, why they move the wheel so much. If you're driving on a straight road, you do not have to move the wheel like this.
It's an illusion.
The actor
It's
cannot help
compulsion.
themselves, right? The
I
actor
know.
cannot help themselves. They're like, look, I'm in a car. Blah, 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 blah.
I wonder if they're directed that way though, to help give quote the illusion of movement.
Sure.
It's a wrong direction.
It's
It's
too
like
much.
people who say, "How would you pick up a phone?" and people pick up the receiver and they do the hang loose
Uh-huh.
symbol with their
Oh
hand.
yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
you hold it like this
That's not
because
what it looks like.
exactly.
Even
You would
even someone
never
like Lip
survive in our
Synca,
town.
right, who has beautiful material where she does like phone conversation lip syncs. She'll do that too with the hang loose sign. I'm like,
Yeah,
girl, you're above this. Stop, stop.
I know.
Anyway,
Again, it's a visual. There's arguments for both. There's absolutely
sure.
arguments for both. And she can probably get away with it also because she's camp and she's
She is
giving.
camp. Yeah. And she's so good at it, right? She's
Yeah,
so good.
we
All
have
right, we
yet
have
another
another
costume
meeting.
change.
The wardrobe
She
department is
is.
working today. Although we have Judith here, our matriarch, in this Bozo the Clown bow around her neck.
I love
What
it.
is this shit? You love it?
I
I
love it.
hate
I
it. I
do.
hate it.
It's Minnie Mouse right there.
It
It's
is.
so
I
yeah.
mean,
You know
the
what's
red matches her
fascinating?
lipstick. So,
I'd love to see the scarf as a square because if you look, the
mm,
lines on it are thick on one side and
yes.
thinner on the other, and then thin in the center. So
Yeah,
the way that it is tied, it's
right.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
a little off balance for me. It's like not asymmetrical enough to be interesting, but also not symmetrical enough to be put together for. I just don't like this look. I
I
don't
know.
think it's
It's all
good.
good. It's all good. I'm tacky. I don't care. It's all good.
Victor, this
Uh
actually looks like something that would be better suited to one of your costumes.
well, is that a read?
No, I think it's more. I mean, I did say she looked like a clown, right? And as the white-faced tornado of burlesque, I feel like it's more suited.
Uh
It does not a matriarch make for me.
well, we're in Canada.
We're
Um well, well, we're in Canada. Um
Uh,
so essentially our matriarch Judith is kind of she says, okay, my son is denying it, and therefore, as long as he denies it, I'll believe him.
right,
But that's not the same thing as saying he didn't do it.
right.
And
She's
that's a really shifty way of getting around.
something is not quite lining up here. Something in her behavior is not lining up. Something in his behavior was not quite lining up. They're both keeping things, and I don't know if we even found out yet because I've been so distracted by clown bows. But what we did find out is that he ended up going to the motel with Monica and having a little,
Rendezvous.
a little rendezvous with this woman he just met then. Meanwhile, his wife was back. It feels a little weird to me. This like weird little wimpy guy is all of a sudden then like going to shack up
Juggling
with
two women.
this buddy of his wife that he just met like that day or something. I don't know. Very strange. Even when he first meets her in the first scene where we talked about her blowout and her cotton candy hair, he like puts his arm around her. I'm gonna have to get to know you better, and you tell me all the stories about my wife. Ha ha ha. And I was like, this is weirdly close to this woman.
It is. It
The behavior
is.
is
And
odd. The
again,
behavior
that
is
was
odd.
his perspective, right? He was telling the story.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He's just sort of there's a reason that he's effective as a killer in the frame fits because he does come across as sort of incapable or inconsequent, like, but
Hmm.
that's what makes him an effect, and that's why that turnaround when he laughs off his sister-in-law's affections
Yeah.
is so like
Oh yeah.
shit, damn.
Because he does seem like kind
Um,
of a dope or a wimp or a little
yeah,
clueless or a little flighty maybe. And then it turns out he's very capable and quite
yeah.
calculated.
He's in a future episode of Murder, She Wrote, which take place at a resort.
Yeah.
He is insufferable in that episode, in my
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
He's just capable of being smarmy.
I think he's a good casting choice for this show in particular because he's not a black and white
No,
actor, right? He really has a way of playing subtext really, really effectively. Ooh, Jessica is
we get a
she's taking
second
matters
manipulation
into her
scene.
own hands. Yes.
All right, so she just met up with Let me see. Who is this gentleman?
It's a private investigator.
Barnaby. She was talking to Barnaby, and then the private investigator shows up, and he says, "I'm waiting for my 5 large."
Yeah. Because he knows where Monica is. They can't find Monica because Monica can supply an alibi for Jim.
Barnaby hands Jessica an envelope, which she stuffs, and goes to the meetup, which actually is a blackmailing situation,
Oh yeah.
or an extortion at the very least.
Extortion.
Uh,
Definitely.
and we don't often get a second manipulation scene, but we do here.
Mm-mm.
They wanted that fucking Emmy, I tell you. She's sitting down, and again, her perspective.
Don't you think it was a little careless walking into the office like that?
Where's Quayle?
Tied up. I came instead.
Oh, yeah? Who exactly are you?
The name I use in Quebec is Fletcher. Sure that the information that you're selling is worth 5 large.
Well, I've seen you up in his office, but how do I know you're working with him?
Does the name Judith Harlan ring a bell with you?
Quayle knows about that?
Stupid.
You think Mr. Quayle is stupid? You think he'd take this case if he didn't know all the facts?
What, may I ask, are you doing here, Mrs. Fletcher?
Subterfuge.
I love when she's caught.
I thought I had made it clear, Mrs. Fletcher. That
Yeah. And suddenly her entire demeanor has changed again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so
Back
good.
to the classic Fletcher. Yep.
Oh, the name that I use in Quebec is Fletcher. It's so like get
She plays
smart. Like it's
gossip
so
busybody. She plays espionage. She
Man from Uncle. Like it's so
It's amazing she was so bad at reading her audiobook.
authoritative voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Stuffed cabbage. It's
So Quayle gives the guy 5K.
yeah.
5 big ones. Such a funny way of describing it. Like, would you want to be just very clear? $5,000, please.
5 large. Because everyone has to talk like a mob boss. Like it's
I
all
know. I know. Even these prosecutors and attorneys.
this is all inappropriate. All of this is a mistrial immediately.
All of
6
it.
or 7
Yeah.
mistrials have occurred so far.
Mm-hmm. They do things differently in Canada. At this
Forget
point,
it,
Quayle
Petra.
is so
It's Canada.
At this point, Quayle is so angry with her. He just wants to get her the fuck out of his way because he is so committed to his defense, right? He wants to prove that the fire was accidental, and he will not budge from that point of view because it's going to ruffle his case. When in fact, Jessica is bringing all of this information to the table. She knows that the case is not going to work because of the gas being turned off, because somebody said, no, I think she was dead before the fire because she had a blow to her head. We didn't talk about that yet. And so she's finding another way around this.
Justice is more important to Jessica than feelings, basically.
Yeah.
Unless those feelings fall in a different direction than she's comfortable with, such as 50 Mile, such as our buried body in Joshua Peabody.
Yeah.
Such as Rutledge's son. Yeah, she has a selective, but her quest for justice. She wants the facts. That's the other thing.
It's a fairly stable moral compass. He wants, yeah.
Even if they don't do anything with it, she wants to know why.
Right. Oh, they found Monica.
Monica's here.
They found Monica.
A little bit of Monica. I like this suit. I love that collar. I think it's hot.
Right? It's bold.
Oh, it's good. It's
the sort of red check.
Yeah, and she's giving full Julia Duffy and Newhart with this hair.
Oh, absolutely. I said Rosen Island before, but that's a much more apt description. She
It's
even kind of
on the
looks like her.
way. It's on the way to Morgan Fairchild. It's just not
Yeah,
committed enough to Morgan
yeah.
Fairchild.
Does Julia
Um,
Duffy show up in Murder, She Wrote? I love Julia Duffy. I love her.
I don't know if she
I
does.
don't think so.
She's
She
in
was
the
already
she's in the
doing her own
Burbs,
thing
and
at the
she's very
time.
good in that. She's good in
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She would have been on
Yeah.
Designing Women at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that was
So
different network, right? That
Newhart
was
and then
NBC.
Designing Women. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Monica has shown up and she implicated Jim.
Yes. Yes. Oh, we have the return of the Janet Jackson
Oh, Rhythm
blouse.
Nation is here.
Yeah.
Is that what that
Jessica's
is? It
wearing,
is,
it's
isn't
very
it?
similar. Look at that. The buttons on either
God,
side.
she's chic.
Yeah.
Love it. And but this time she has this beautiful blue polka dot underneath that's really working.
Wrapped. It is. It's breaking
Stunning.
it up a bit.
Yeah.
And but this is her spy look. This is a little bit more. Give her
Hmm.
some sunglasses. There's her subterfuge
Oh
there.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Fletcher.
Blend in. The name I use is Fletcher.
In Quebec.
In Quebec. Only Quebec. Yeah.
Only in Quebec. When she goes to Newfoundland, oh, it's an
Yeah.
entirely different story.
Oh. Oh, so we've not mentioned many details about this plot. One thing, when Jessica first met Judith, she made a comment about a brooch that she was wearing, a beautiful
Brooch.
brooch that she was wearing that was an heirloom given to her by Jim from Jim's grandmother. And so Jessica just had her aha
An
moment when our
epiphany.
secretary came in and said, I can't find my earring. It's not worth much, but it has sentimental value. Eureka!
Yes,
We have our moment.
because what, 30 minutes earlier, she was wearing this distinctive brooch on her. Is this it right there?
That's
Right?
it. That's it. Yeah. It looks almost like
So,
a Celtic something or other.
yeah, I can see
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
Highly detailed, highly
Yep.
detailed. I would expect jewels just to make it a little bit more interesting,
Yeah.
but
Some kind of stone, some sort of beautiful polished stone in it, but it's mostly just a silver
yeah, but
moment.
because the secretary dropped her earring, that means, oh, jewelry, right?
Right.
Um,
Well, and also they found her wedding ring and engagement ring in the fire, but they didn't find the
right.
brooch, which Jessica thought was a
Knows she
little
was wearing.
odd. Yeah,
Yeah.
because she saw it that night. And so this is the click moment. This is the aha moment. Oh, I get it. I know what happened.
Layers. Yes, this is the whole thing. Uh this is actually interesting because a future episode, there's another with Barbara Babcock actually that involves earrings coming on and off, which is very important to the
Hmm.
plot line.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Oh, I love that. Honestly, Barbara Backlot could show up in any episode and make it better. She's so great. Go on.
oh yes. Well, so they say that if it was homicide for financial gain, they would have
Hmm.
taken the ring and they would have taken anything else, not just the brooch. So
Right.
was the brooch singled out?
Sentimental value because it has
Could
meaning
be.
to somebody. That's why it was grabbed.
But who would it have meaning to?
Someone in the family.
I don't know. I can't think of who that could be.
Who could
We
it
have
be?
five
I don't
minutes
know.
left.
Someone who was critical of
Patricia the
Jim
whole time?
and
Yeah.
Patricia the whole time, and we also learned that Monica had been receiving money from her to keep quiet because we just found out that Monica was not a school friend. It was a prison mate because Judith was in prison. Oh, sorry, Patricia. Judith is the mother.
Patricia.
Patricia
Judith's
was in
mother.
prison at one point, and Monica was like a cellmate.
But that was your Freudian slip. Because guess what? It's Judith.
It's Judith. It's Judith.
How do you feel
And they
about
lay a trap here. They lay a trap, which I love. Right?
this final blazer here for our Judith? Judith, who was
Let's
like,
see.
I will do this show, but for 5 costume changes.
Yeah, at least.
Right
I
there.
think I like this. I think I
I
like
think I
this
do.
look.
I
It's
don't know if I love it
again,
with
it's
the
another
blouse.
bow, but with the blouse, it's a little challenging. But the coat and the skirt
Coat
itself
is
are really
cool.
beautiful. They look rich.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
what would you
Like
call
this.
this? Tweedish
It,
almost, but not quite. It's like a
it's also like
white,
a
red,
Jackson
pink,
Pollock zoomed in.
very. It's a George Seurat. If you step back,
Yeah.
there's going to be
Little
a picture there.
dots. Little
Yeah.
dots. I like it. I
But
like
again,
it.
this weird like schoolgirl bow in dark red plaid. I don't
They
get the
love a
blouse.
pussy bow on a woman of a certain age in
I
this
guess
actually of
so.
any age, frankly.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works out like Victoria wears a couple of bows in
Hmm.
her last episode in season 3.
Yeah, she
And for some
does.
reason, oh, we do have another costume change.
She
She's
gets
now in
so many
black.
looks. Oh my
Oh,
God. She
and
looks
she's got the
so chic.
gloves.
So what happened
She
is
enters
they were in the
the Grease
attorney's
Monkey's
office
house.
and Jessica was like, "We think it was Clay McLeod, the gardener, and we think he took the brooch." And so
Brooch.
Judith is going to try to frame the gardener by going to his house, taking a tin on the fridge and putting that brooch in to frame him before they search his place. But
Found
who's there? Who's
you.
waiting in the wings?
Not the detective, but the prosecutor.
The prosecutor, who is honestly Jessica's true ally in this. Quayle
Yes,
is
this is her
is
Watson.
just an adversary at this point. Juliet Mills is her real partner in
Virtue.
uncrime. Should we hear Judith?
Yeah, let's
Why
get our
not?
confession scene here. It's good. She's so startled.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that Mr. Quayle is busily arranging for a search warrant.
Why, in this tissue paper, I find this stunning brooch.
Hmm.
Yes, that's the brooch that Patricia was wearing.
How did you know?
When I admired it, Jim told me that it was an heirloom, that it had belonged to his grandmother.
My mother was very fond of it. A present from my father.
I had to ask myself, who would take an antique brooch and leave a 5-carat diamond?
Patricia's appointment was not with her hairdresser.
We would love us. Oh.
It was with me. I went out
Lesbians.
there to confront her privately with what my investigator had turned up. I offered her a handsome settlement to divorce Jim quietly, without scandal. Patricia was not only greedy, she was arrogant, and she became very abusive. She had the audacity to hit me. I grasped for whatever was near me, and it was the
They love a
plump
fireplace
fireplace
poker.
knife.
It's always a fucking poker. Very convenient.
Who disconnected the gas line in the basement?
It wasn't difficult. I calculated I had enough time to get back to the city before the fire consumed her.
And you couldn't bear to see your mother's brooch destroyed, so you removed it from the body.
Resigned.
Dignified, though.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders back, buttocks tight, headed to the gas chamber.
Hmm. Got to keep that tone.
I hope you realize that I never would have let Jim be convicted for something I had done.
Yes, Jessica, our little ploy worked brilliantly. A clever piece of work, if I say so.
Oh, Barnaby.
Yeah. So what do we think? Do we believe they say this a lot? Oh, I never would have let them get this innocent party get
Yeah,
convicted.
very much like
They're
if the frame fits, right? Like
yeah.
our
Yeah. They're gambling that
someone else
they'll
is
be found
gonna take
innocent.
the fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they hire somebody who's going to be able to get them off or find a way out of it to drop the charges.
Right.
But I don't know. Do you think she would say, no, it was me? I don't think so.
I
She doesn't seem to have the most affection for her child, to be honest, right? She seems
I
quite
think she
critical of
still
him.
I think she thinks she would. I think she thinks she would.
Right.
But if it were to be in that little if in
Yeah.
that alternate universe. I don't know. And I think that's what makes her dangerous
Yeah. Yeah.
because she thinks she's capable of something that actually might not be.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
telling the truth in the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in truth, that's us, that's everybody.
Yeah.
We love to think that we would have, the wherewithal or the grace or I don't know, because as
The
it is,
morality, the
she's killed a woman.
yeah. And not only did she, frankly, she could have had a self-defense plea if Patricia hit her, right? Oh, she hit
Yeah.
me, and so I tried to defend myself. But then the whole subterfuge of going to unplug the gas line and burn the house down, that's where she gets into trouble, right?
Right. Because then she's a psychopath.
Then
Then
she's
she's
then it looks like
so
intentional. Then it looks like I want her dead rather than I
leaving
was
the
defending
house,
myself.
having dinner with her son while his wife's body is burning.
Right.
That's fucked. Like
Calm as
that's
a cucumber.
legit.
Calm as a cucumber.
And talking
She
disdainfully about
knows
her the whole
she
time.
knows we start dinner at 8:30. What the hell's wrong with this
Yes.
woman? My God.
Her cold, stiff fingers. Like it really is
Mm.
yeah, what a beast. And I live for it.
Me
I
too.
fucking live for it.
I love when it's an old broad that is the killer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Or maybe not
Yeah.
old, but older, like over
She's
the
clearly
over
in
the hill
her
area, right? Yeah,
yeah,
middle-aged and above. Like
vibrant,
our Lois
capable.
Nettleton, right? I love when she turns out to be a killer. I just love these crimes of passion too.
Right, and that's really what it is. This is
Yeah.
a crime of passion.
Yeah.
I do wonder if in her defense, which will inevitably occur, and Jessica has to come back for that now.
Hmm.
Unless she pleads guilty. I don't know if there is going to be a defense. If she
Well,
just pleads
Quayle,
guilty, I think.
right. Quayle says he's going to call her back for the trial because he's representing Judith.
Right. But I have a feeling it's a plea of guilty. I mean,
Oh, sure.
unless I mean, he seems unscrupulous enough where he would possibly try to entertain her going
Yeah.
for insanity. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a real thing in Canada. They do things differently
Right.
there.
Right.
And it also, frankly, is pretty uncommon here in the States. TV shows be damned.
TV shows love us
Um,
to see the insanity plea, right? Because
yeah.
it's an easy way out, or it's kind of low-hanging
Yeah.
fruit in a
Yeah.
procedural in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, when in
Yeah.
fact it doesn't really live up, and it's not really what happens. Or at
Right.
least it's tried a lot, but doesn't really work. I mean, maybe I don't know the figures. I could be totally wrong, but
I don't think it's even attempted all that often because
yeah,
of the likelihood. Also, our understanding of mental health has changed so much in the last several
yeah,
decades.
yeah,
It probably was a very different charge in 1950 when
right.
you could go to an asylum for masturbating.
You could conflate
So,
things, right? You can
yeah,
conflate something like being on the autism spectrum with being dangerous when
right,
we know
right,
more about it now, and that's just not possible. It just doesn't line up, right?
right.
It's
I
just
think
like
mental
these are in two
incompetence is
separate
really
boxes.
hard. I think
Yeah,
conservatorships are really hard now too. Like I think
yeah,
it's like you really have to prove that someone is
right.
either a danger to themselves
Totally.
or somehow at you know uh at odds with their mental acuity.
Hmm.
Um and you know what? Good. It should be harder to do that. We
Yeah,
shouldn't allow people to be taken advantage of. We should actually really examine it.
right.
But and we should also I said this recently. Why did I say something like this? Recently, I think on the We Burlesque podcast, because we were talking about the neuroatypicality that is rampant sounds like a judgment, but it's not in because party of one in the
Hmm.
burlesque community, in the nightlife community, and how autism or spectrum or neuroatypicality or any of these situations um explain certain behaviors, but they do not excuse certain
Right.
behaviors.
Right.
And that's difficult when you're trying to be in a professional setting where people have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like you merely, and we this also came up recently at the BAFTAs where we had somebody who has
Tourette's.
I, Tourette's. I forget what the actual Tourette's is sort of the it's sort of like calling autism Asperger's, and I know that there are some advocates who prefer the clinical definition. I don't remember what that is off the top of my
Yeah,
head
I don't
because
either.
there's variations. There's variations. But one of this guy's mental tics or verbal tics is shouting basically the worst things you can say. That
Yeah.
but really like on the nose stuff.
Hmm.
Where it's odd, like you would think that if you have no control over it, then it would be nonsense. Why are you not saying like the lion and the unicorn
Why does
instead
it
of the
zero in on that expletive, right?
right?
It's an
Why
interesting
does it have
question,
to be?
right?
Yeah. Why
And
is
it
it if
has
it's
to
a
do
woman
with
you
the
call her a
wiring, right?
bitch? If it's a person of color, why is it not why is it a slur? Like
Right.
why?
Yeah.
Um and there were a lot of people who sort of sweep that and just sort of say, "Oh, it's ableist at all to question it." But no, that's part of the demystifying it too.
Yeah, totally.
um, and to not excuse it. And and maybe this is also
Well,
just
and to
me,
question it
where
implies that there's a judgment when not, it's not always a
right,
judgment. It's actually a curiosity to know things more deeply, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're probably more likely to forgive things if we understand them than if
Yeah.
we are just told, "Don't talk about it." Like, oh, okay,
Right.
well, I
Right.
don't like that. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
but I think that even if this woman did act out of character for her in that moment, I don't think it's a
Right.
good case for
Right.
insanity,
No.
temporary insanity.
I mean, it's pretty clear she's not like a physically violent person, and she reacted to being hit, right, by someone
That
who,
she says. We didn't get a flashback. We didn't even get her
that's true.
Rashomon.
See, that would have been lovely. That would have been the flashback I actually wanted here.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was cut for time or if they just didn't think it was necessary, but
Right.
they are very selective on which times we actually get to see the murder.
Hmm. It's not as often as we think.
It's not. It's
It's
not.
pretty
Sometimes
rare
we'll
we get
get,
an actual flashback.
yeah.
I wonder what the
Sometimes we get
discernment is in deciding what gets that attention and what doesn't.
probably the monologue. Probably if we think we can
Maybe,
get that work without it. Because
right.
if we look at the monologue in A Fashionable Way to Die, when Valerie is confessing to shooting Maxim,
Hmm.
uh, it's helpful to see her at the door and ransacking the room, shooting
Yeah.
him, all that jazz. That's
Yeah.
helpful.
Sure.
Do we have any reason to disbelieve her without that visual? No, but it's helpful and it gives her some acting to do too.
It gives her something to speak to, yeah.
Um,
But again, it would have been helpful here to see her fight with to see Judith and Patricia fight and to see Judith strike her and then or Patricia strike her and then Judith grab a poker, right? Even if it was
yeah.
just that and like just I don't I'm so curious why they choose to show us sometimes and why they don't, I guess. It doesn't
I would have loved to
really
see it
make sense.
with Tarkington too,
Yeah.
frankly. We didn't see it. They don't always do it with
Or like
women.
No
Maybe
Laughing
that's some
Murder,
of
we
it.
get to see the Buddy Hackett where he stabs himself, but we don't get to see George Hearn kill Artie, right? Why that
Yeah.
choice? I think that
That may
makes
have
more
been a
sense,
logistical
right?
choice. That may have
Because
been
we
a
want to see
logistical
the
choice.
mechanics of what Buddy Hackett has to do to frame somebody rather
Right.
than
Right.
meanwhile looking at what
That's
George
more
Firth
important.
did, it's too much. There's too much to show him hang a body, right? Like that's
Right.
too complicated, and so we're not going to show it. So we're just going to give it in the confession monologue.
Well, it's sort of clean cut.
Yeah,
How many ways are there to show
yeah,
stringing up a body?
right.
We don't see that with our oh, what's her name? Her last name is Tree in Sticks
Elvira
and
Tree.
Stones. Elvira,
Elvira
thank you.
Tree,
We don't
yes.
see her death either.
No,
We do see the bathtub murder.
right, right.
Um, but that's also our intro. That's not that's a murder in a
Hmm.
two murder episode as well. Um, it's interesting this episode because the murder happened so early. It really wouldn't surprise me if in this episode there had been a second murder. It wouldn't make sense for who the killer is, but
Yeah,
if there had been um well, I had to kill them because they knew, or they're
Mhm.
like, there had to be some additional.
Right.
I
Right.
think, I think she's probably going to prison for at least 10 years, though. I think she's
Unless Quayle can get her off. I mean, they say what they do say is that Quayle is like unmatched, and he is one of the best defense attorneys out there. So, I mean, we
yeah,
see him as sort of a
a funny
buffoon,
guy.
right? Like
Yeah,
a gas bag buffoon who's sort of high on his own supply. But his reputation, so they say, is unmatched. So
right.
maybe he will get her off.
His
Maybe
pumpacity
he
is
will
earned,
find a way.
essentially.
Maybe he will smear Patricia and Monica's character because of their prison records so much that a jury says, well, it makes sense that Judith would take this
Right.
action because she would have been
Yeah.
in danger from an ex-con or something. And
Right.
how they would paint the whole burning the house down. Now that's a separate charge altogether, arson, right? But
Well, depending, you can get some things thrown out
yeah,
if you're not allowed to talk about that or certain things like that. I mean, there
right.
again, most of our knowledge is seen through true crime lenses where it's all
Yeah.
retrospective,
Yeah.
or through recreations where it's all speculative.
Yeah.
It's all fantasy. But it is amazing to me sometimes what is and is not allowed to be talked about
Hmm.
in trials.
Yeah.
Like it's like, why didn't that come up? Oh, because it was suppressed.
It was thrown
But
out.
what? Because it was thrown out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
Because it was.
we
Because it was.
we had a bonus episode recently, obviously, but we had originally had a different idea for that, and it was procedural. I won't give too much away, but in that
We're saving it.
episode,
We're saving it for
we're
later.
saving it, yeah. But in that episode, a lot of really important details that would implicate a criminal are thrown out, and it's incredibly frustrating. And you don't really think about those when we're watching Murder, She Wrote, because we don't usually see the trial, right? But
Mm,
in fact, a lot of these murders that Jessica solves may not ever go to trial or get to the point where someone goes to jail because of the way evidence is obtained, the circumstances in which the murder or the investigation itself played out. Like we don't see that. And so when I
mm-mm.
was watching that procedural for this potential bonus that we might do in the future, it was so illuminating and frustrating. And I've actually been thinking about the Murder, She Wrote investigations differently since seeing it.
Mm, mhm.
Because a
Yeah,
lot
and this
of
comes
the
up a lot.
ways,
Yeah, please.
yeah, a lot of the ways Jessica gets things done are not admissible in court. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it in this
Yes.
episode, right? Her playing
Yes.
spy, her playing dumb gossip to get some dish, like she might know, but the world may never know.
Yeah. Yeah. And key people in play may never know.
Yeah.
That's the whole ending of 50 Mile,
Yeah,
is that they're not going to actually talk about it to the one person who it affects.
exactly.
Because they just decide not to. They
Yeah.
just decide and that's a certain generation too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're cycling back to that with our alphas, but I think we're at a very unapologetic warts and all kind of era right now. Like, no, we need to know the truth about everything. And
Yeah.
yet we talk a bit about privacy as well. And
Hmm.
um, don't talk about this person. They're dead. Why are we bringing this up? And I'm like, well, because they're dead.
Yeah.
And
They don't
there's
care.
certain, yeah. And even if they did, well, maybe they shouldn't have done something shitty. Like there's also like I believe in agency. I really, really do. And I
Yeah, me
believe
too.
to an extent in dead person agency. I want to know why that's important to you though. If you want to get into we talk about the gay aspect a lot, the queerness aspect,
Hmm.
the presumed bisexuality of, historical or recent figures, and how appropriate or inappropriate it is to either out someone or speculate after they're dead.
Hmm.
If we're
It's all
doing
a
it to celebrate
projection.
them,
It's all a
if we're doing it to
projection of what's
celebrate
inside
them,
ourselves. Yeah.
absolutely. Um, and if we're there to say, and good for them, I don't think that being queer is a bad thing. So it actually gives you a tick in the favorsome box,
Yeah.
honestly, for me. So, but if you're a dick about it, or if you're doing it to discredit someone, well, then that's really none of your business.
Yeah.
But if you're going to celebrate or say yes, then, it's our business.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, to a certain also degree, to discredit them, perhaps if we're going to discuss, hypocrisy or self-loathing, um, I think it's fair to deconstruct, for example, the fundamentalist Christian effect on Little Richard, which made him look back at his homosexuality in a
Oh,
negative
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I think that's worth discussing because I think that's a larger discussion. It doesn't matter to me that he's dead. It doesn't matter to me that he didn't identify in a specific way at a certain time. Oh well, I believe there is reasons to discuss that. Um, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't think that that's necessarily inappropriate or
Well,
rude to
again,
the dead.
it's so much has to do with our own feelings about ourselves, and maybe this is not the perspective that many people take, but when people talk about like I want to leave a legacy or I want to I'm the way I'm thought of after I'm gone is important. It's not important to me. I will
Mm,
be dead. I don't care. To say that I need a legacy after I'm gone only speaks to my own ego, right?
yes,
Which I will leave behind on this earthly plane when I die. So why do I give
presumably,
a fuck, right? Well, we'll
presumably.
find out. We'll find out.
What if we,
But
we all end up like Statler and Waldorf in the opera box? It's like, why aren't they talking about me? Say nice things. Go ahead.
I mean, I'd like to think we transcend that sort of way of thinking, but I don't know for sure. I'm not keeled over yet. But I also think having conversations, frank, direct conversations about these types of things is really important.
Yeah.
Why can't we talk about Little Richard? Why can't we talk about Michael Jackson? Why can't we talk about uh,
Just
Patricia
complicated
Harlan,
stuff.
our murder victim here, and what made her
Yeah.
complicated, and why she made the choices she made, and why maybe she didn't deserve to be murdered, but like, what's the full picture here? I'm never
Yeah.
one who wants to exist in ignorance. I cannot stand it. I want to know everything.
I think it's also that sort of good for her sort of Gone Girl,
Hmm.
Midsummer. Um, there's freedom in fiction
Yeah.
to look at choices that we are not consulted on and go work bitch like and snap our
Yeah.
fingers.
Yeah.
I had this discussion with
It's about us.
a dear friend of mine, a very close friend of mine about the movie Weapons and how she
Sure.
was really, really pro Gladys until Gladys was contextualized for her in an abusive to a child kind of way, where the way
Yeah.
that she treats the boy in that.
Hmm.
And she's not physically violent to him, but she is menacing.
Yes. She's threatening, she's
She's yeah,
manipulative,
and she hurts people.
yeah.
She hurts
She,
people,
she
and
exploits his
she's
weaknesses. Yeah, absolutely.
uh either she's an embodiment of evil and a total monster, or she is an opportunist doing what she needs to survive.
To stay alive, right?
Right. And when you start especially mixing in children, and I did talk to her, I was like, I wonder if you would have had this perspective per se before you became a mother, because this happens to be a friend of mine who is in
Hmm.
fact a mother. And
Hmm.
it's very possible that we she would not have had this necessarily same
Right.
perspective then.
Yeah.
Um, and also gay men and our fascination with abusive women is fascinating. Our it goes beyond Joan Crawford, but includes,
Yeah.
this sort of deification of cruel, inhuman,
Right.
villainous women.
Well, and that might
Um,
have to do, we talked a little bit about the Hays Code in our last episode,
yeah,
but the Hays Code sort of relegated queerness and evil and anything
outside
untoward,
the
put it
margins
in the
altogether.
same bucket, right? And so
Yeah.
we grew up in this stew of conflated identity, which sort of paired villainy with queerness, with otherness,
Hmm.
right? And so we weirdly can like see the danger, but we also can see our own identities in it. And so it's
Hmm.
it's a real mind fuck when you think about it.
It's similar to what I was saying with where it doesn't necessarily excuse it, but it can explain it. It
Yes,
can get a lot of what our trauma response
right,
leads us to horrible decisions.
right.
And if you go back in time and you look at a lot of serial killers and you look at a lot of behavioral studies on the dregs of society, a lot of them come from families of abuse. A lot of
Yeah.
them come from traumatic brain injuries. A lot of them come from a lot of stuff. It does not excuse what they did with that information
No,
because people with traumatic brain injuries are not a monolith. People who come
right.
from abusive backgrounds are not a monolith. You still made choices.
Yeah.
And it is those choices, as we've talked about, Miranda Priestley, that are necessary to basically do things and survive. Now, if you do those in a way that hurt other people, well, then you've made that choice.
Hmm.
And the only way to get what you want is to become a human yourself.
Oh my
And
gosh.
if you show your humanity and your human response, that is really what dictates if you are essentially a good person or not.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that you brought Ursula into the fold because I think about that all in our queer-coded like even children's villains, right? And they're delicious. We love them. Captain Hook, Jafar, Scar, Ursula, Maleficent, the Evil Queen. These are all it's all faggotry,
Lady
right?
Tremel from Cinderella.
Oh,
Similar,
yes.
similar, uptight, manipulative,
Hmm.
cruel women
Yeah.
who also came from nothing and married into it.
Hmm.
Similar parallel to our
Hmm.
Judith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I think one of the reasons that fiction is so satisfying for a lot of that and a lot of our evil matriarchs and a lot of our divas and the way that we put that is because they give us that base bloodlust that we have whatever in us to prevent us
Hmm.
from doing that in real life,
Hmm.
and we're able to say good for her.
Yeah. We might
Is
live
it?
more humanistically, but we can
Yeah,
we can relate and
we
understand.
see we see you have a point there. We see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that for any number
Right.
of reasons.
No.
I think I think I wouldn't do that. I never would let him go to prison for a crime I committed. I think.
I think, right. But
Um,
what happens to your brain in that moment when you're finally
yeah.
confronted with that decision? We don't know. We are
No.
wired to protect ourselves.
Right.
We are wired to survive. And so it's easy to pass judgment on these especially these fictional characters in Murder, She Wrote, right?
Yeah. Well,
They're
because
not
those are
in
the easy
issues.
ones.
Yeah,
It's the real people that's harder.
that is harder because they have a lifetime
Um,
of circumstance and choices behind them that led to
right.
whatever those ultimate
There
decisions
was
are.
I saw something really interesting. It was like one of those like queer Instagrams where it's like we love our divas, we love our queer coded, and it was
Hmm.
about Pam Ferris, who played Mrs. Trunchbull or Miss Trunchbull
Oh
in
yeah.
Matilda in the film version with Mara Wilson. And it was happy birthday to our lesbian coded icon, Miss Trunchbull, Pam Ferris. And somebody was like, why are you like giving props to Miss Trunchbull? She abused children. She did this. She was horrible. Blah 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 blah. And you're equating it with her with a lesbianism. Why are you perpetuating? And it was like, I see your point. I see
Yeah,
your point.
sure.
And it is that deep sometimes. If we're gonna get real, there is a reason that the nuance of Silence of the Lambs and Dress to Kill and media
Yeah.
and Psycho, which explicitly say this is not a trans person, is then used to weaponize against trans people because
Yeah.
sometimes it happens. So sure, butch evil lesbian abusing kids, could that be used as a mental note to not trust butch lesbians? Sure. Um, it's also Tom and Jerry. It's also a cartoon. It's also like,
Very, yeah.
and I would love to think that we were all capable of that kind of separation. But as someone who lives in that church and that state, I get it too.
Yeah.
But
Frankly,
maybe that post is for us and not for the straight people who will also read that and then use that as judgment. You know?
yeah,
Maybe
there's
that's
a
an
lot of
us
layers to
conversation.
it. It's a lot of virtue signaling. It's a lot of um, high morality out of context. It can be quite frustrating sometimes.
I mean, they're not wrong. Miss
No, they're not
Trunchbull's a
wrong.
horrible human being.
She is. She absolutely is. She's also a queer-coded character when queer people don't get a lot of queer characters to see themselves in.
Uh-huh.
Frankly, it's kind of amazing that queer people are as decent as we are, right? When
I know. I
media
know.
has told us for so long how rotten we are. It's
Yeah.
quite a transcendence if you think about it. Like what the community has been able to accomplish in spite of, and I'm not talking about heavy-handed violence or things like that, but just these subtle codes that we've all been raised under and been living under our entire lives for generations and generations.
Sure.
So like
Yeah.
the fact that we can come out on top and say like, yeah, I'm a good person. I'm not going to murder somebody.
That's our baseline. But that's the thing too, is that
Well,
it's because it's fiction and because it's obviously to an extreme.
yeah,
Hurling a little girl in pigtails is not into the uh off the school grounds is an extreme
it's
and
a fantasy.
it's a
Yeah.
fantasy. Um I don't, but also if we were to ground that in reality, I don't know what Magnus did to Miss Trunchbull or Miss Honey. I don't know why one went in that direction and one went to
Yeah.
the other. I don't
Yeah.
know about Miss Trunchbull's traumatic brain injury. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
Like,
she
I
got
don't
hit by the
know.
shot put too many times, right? Like who knows?
I mean, but that's the thing is also is like that's when that is that line between is it that deep? Is it
Yeah,
escapism? And I kind of live for that shit.
me too.
Um,
I like the messiness of it. I
I
like that it's not a
do.
clear-cut answer. I
I
mean,
do.
obviously there are
I get
clear-cut things like
defensive
you shouldn't do this
sometimes.
shit and you should do this shit.
Yeah.
Like there we get to see both sides of that, but what happens in the middle is what's sort of fun to be curious about.
And so bringing this back to what I was first talking about with Leslie Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet, um,
Hmm.
she did mention this. She was like, "Well, what is your favorite?" They said, "What's your favorite ending?" She's like, "Well, my ending, of course." And would you have played anybody? She's like, "No, you're gonna have to rip that character from my hands." Which again, we're blessed to because that was not her original role.
Yeah.
And Carrie Fisher would have gone in a completely different direction with that, and that would have been fascinating. And I would travel back to the world, travel to that alternate universe where that happened just to experience it,
Right.
because I would
Well,
like to know how Leslie Ann Warren also would have played Mrs. White, frankly.
right. Right.
Um, which I have to imagine because she's so frequently envisioned. I won't say typecast, but envisioned as sort of a see and choice kind of oi.
Hmm.
If that would have been the
A
direction she
little
would have taken.
common, a little opportunist,
Yeah,
a little
who knows?
brash, right? Yeah.
Who knows? Very, very different roles, obviously.
Yeah,
But Miss
totally.
Scarlet is uh an awful human being.
Yes, yes.
And yet she's not an awful human being because she uh works in sex work.
No,
She's that's why she's being blackmailed, but she did what she's being blackmailed for. Um she's a bad person because she uses people. And Wadsworth
right.
calls her on that. He says, "You used her the way you always used her,
Hmm.
and got that to do two murders for you that you would be responsible for,
Yeah,
and then killed her."
yeah.
And she honestly, I mean, again, folks, I could go on about Clue for hours upon hours. She is the ending that makes the most sense
Yeah,
of all of the three endings.
right.
logistically, thematically, and storyline wise,
And
and
character-wise, frankly.
character wise. Yeah. I see the point. I see your point with everybody else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think that she actually is the true, if we had to, villain of the piece. Um, Partially because she's a capitalist. And that's it, isn't it? She's an opportunist, she's a capitalist, she's a blackmailer, she works in government secrets.
That's always the lesson, isn't it? Like
It's a
that, we come back to
relish.
that all the time.
Yeah,
Capitalism is the true villain.
yeah. And she's just out to survive.
Yeah, yeah.
She's another one who I'm going to guess did not wake up one day in her, Beverly Hills estate and say, I'm moving to Washington to become a madam
Right.
and
Twirling her
really get the dirt
mustache.
under my finger. Yeah.
Right.
To
No.
get dirt under my fingernails and really show mommy and daddy. I have a
Yeah.
feeling this is a woman, a scrappy young miss, who didn't have a fairy godmother, frankly. And
You mean
um
Celeste Holm was not there?
no, not even Whitney
Oh,
Houston. So I
impossible.
feel and certainly not Helena Bonham Carter. But I feel like when that was brought up, she was like, well, she doesn't suffer fools, and like the way that she responds to the misogyny in that film is refreshing.
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
way that she stands up to Professor Plum, where he's the bumbling idiot. The way that she stands up even to Colonel Mustard, where he's the one in the wrong. It's delightful,
Oh yeah, she holds the
particularly
power.
for something in 1985.
Yeah.
And the only reason
That takes
she
place in the
is
50s, mind you.
yes,
Yeah.
54.
Yeah.
And the only reason that she gets her comeuppance is by sheer luck. That bell ringing, and
Yeah.
Wadsworth, a trained FBI professional, so let's not get it twisted. He's still like she's still not the weak little girl who suddenly can't do things,
No.
but she knows how to use her voice, and she has like 16 different manipulation scenes in that movie,
Yeah.
looking back and how she talks to people.
Hmm.
The way that if you go in looking at her conversations with Mrs. White, oh, so that's why he was on his back all day in his coffin. In theory, she already knows that.
She knows all because she deals in secrets, right?
Yes.
She came
And
in knowing
that
all
found
of
them out for
them,
me. Like she
theoretically, right?
should, like it's all yeah.
She's a
And then Mr.
survivor,
Body
baby.
tried, and then Mr. Body tried to overtake her, and she's like, well, no, actually, we're not going to be doing that.
No. It was the
So
larger system that sort of took
yeah.
her
I
down.
mean,
It wasn't the
and
individual.
the reason I'm singling out Miss Scarlet here is because I just saw Leslie Ann Warren, but same is true for Mrs. Peacock. Same is true
Yes.
for Mrs. Peacock because she also has a logical ending. It's a stretch, but it's a logical ending, and it fits the mold more than any of the others.
Hmm.
And I think it's fascinating that of the three endings, two of them are all women killers. Yvette,
Yeah.
Scarlet, and Mrs. Peacock.
Right. Right.
And I wonder, unless you're going to even the playing field, if it's not just a little bit unseemly that a man is strangling Yvette, that a man is stabbing the cook.
It does become a little bit more. It adds a layer of misogyny, obviously. It's a
Yeah,
layer
it's uncomfortable to find out that
patriarchy.
Wadsworth shoots the singing telegram.
Oh yeah.
Frankly,
Oh yeah.
that's when he twirls his mustache.
That poor girl.
I know. Well, she was an informant, but I mean, yeah, but she was also taken advantage of by an adulterous doctor. So
By
yeah,
a
again,
plum. Yeah.
and then she made choices, and then she made choices. But it's
Those
interesting
choices are necessary.
when we watch shows where the broad is the killer. We often immediately go good for her, and we did not here.
No, he didn't.
So as we wrap up, because we've been going for a while here, if
Well,
that's
and
cool
it
with
may,
you,
but is it because it was a broad who killed a broad?
we've been there.
Sure.
We've been there. I don't know if I like her motivation because I think it's a class thing too. She didn't
Sure.
think her daughter-in-law was good enough.
She didn't want this common prison trash married to her son, basically,
And
right?
I'm going to almost always root for the prison trash
Kind
in
of.
that regard. In that
There
regard.
was also obviously blackmailing. Well, actually, Monica was the one who was blackmailing,
Exactly.
right?
Patricia wasn't we the only thing we have is Judith's
Yeah.
word that she hit her.
Frankly, Patricia
And
was in a difficult
frankly,
place. Like,
Patricia probably slapped her because she said, "How about you divorce your husband, my son, because you're not good
right.
enough for him, and you get the hell out of here." Yeah, you
Judith's
know
take
what?
that
That's
she was
worthy.
arrogant. Is it because she was actually arrogant or because she dared to challenge Judith, who always got her way? Bingo, right?
Right, right.
The show wants us to believe that Judith was worthy of this death in some way, or because the show loves to tell us
Patricia.
yes, thank you, Patricia was worthy of being killed because of her actions, because we don't love a sympathetic victim. We like when they get killed and we find out, well, I guess they had it coming, right? The show likes to tell us that very simplistically. But in this
It
case,
has to go
I
with
don't
one or the other.
I don't really
Yeah.
buy it. I don't buy it. Monica
Well,
was
because
the one who
she's
was
not a
really
bitch.
that's why all
She's
this
actually
money was
really nice in
disappearing,
the
right?
flashback.
She is. She's
Yeah.
lovely. Monica's the one who is
She kikis with Jessica.
seedy.
They're having a great time.
Yeah. Maybe she's a woman with a complicated past who was trying to transcend it and live a better life and found a nice
Yeah.
guy that she liked. I mean, obviously it wasn't clean and it wasn't tidy, their relationship. They had problems, but Patricia
But
is
people have
not
problems.
a black and white villain here who deserved to go.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
She seems
There's
lovely,
another.
frankly. All this story, all
I
these
know.
stories that other people are telling about her. This is one of my final reflections on this episode. Is like Patricia does not seem like the person that everyone is telling us she is. Monica does because she shows up and she's petulant and she lies on the stand, right? And she's blackmailing
Hmm.
Patricia the whole time. And Judith, she's classist.
Hmm.
Patricia is caught in the middle. And she has to make choices too, right? And it's I
Yeah.
love that she's complicated. We get so little of her. We get so little Patricia. One scene.
Hmm.
And yet here we are talking about her.
Not even a flashback.
Not even a flashback.
We don't even get a flashback in testimony because
No.
everything important is after she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life be messy.
And for a show an episode that frankly is so much just talking, 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 there's a
Yeah.
lot to talk about. And I love
Mhm.
that. It's one of the great pleasures. So I think an excellent performance from our matriarch.
Yeah.
Um, I fully believe she thinks she's vindicated. I
Yeah.
fully believe. I
She
think she's
believes
wrong.
she's in the right,
Yep.
but she's wrong. We believe she's wrong, but she does not believe she's wrong.
She thinks she was in survivalist mode. She
Yeah,
thinks that
yeah.
that was her choice. She's protecting the legacy.
She was maintaining her status quo, her family's status quo.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because in her mind, that choice was necessary.
Yeah.
Um, and because she's fiction, but based in reality, I think that's why she comes off a little bit less good for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen that behavior, and we often see that behavior in men.
Right.
So,
Right.
and as someone who's fully alienated by the justice system, Quebecian or not, I'm disinterested in her going to prison, but I think that it's gonna lead to some awkward Thanksgivings at the very least. Canadian Thanksgivings, but
Yeah.
Thanksgivings all the same.
And gosh, poor Jim. This little wimpy
No, I
guy, he's just left
know.
with a dead wife who we really loved and a mother who killed her. And he's going to sit in this big old house alone.
He's gonna turn into Richard Beymer from Days to Real Down.
Exactly, Sydney. He's going to make little
Bitter and
miniature
playing with his
models of Renaissance
trains.
fairs.
Ah, I
Uh,
know.
yeah.
I know. Well, and he doesn't, and we don't even want him to go with Monica. We don't even, we're not even like, oh,
No,
well, then no,
because
she's,
Monica is trash.
damn,
Sorry.
damn. Well, that
Monica is
was our visit
she's
to,
a true capitalist.
that was our, exactly. But no, but I see Miss Carla's point though. I see Miss Carla's point. And Monica,
Yeah.
I can get there. I can get there. I mean, I don't really spend a whole lot of time with her enough for me to really get into her.
No, she doesn't get
Um,
much to do here. She's
the
more of a name than she is a real character, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, because she's also this invisible presence that's looming for half the
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
as well, as if
And
she's
frankly,
the
when
key
she
to it
shows
all.
up, she's not really that much of a
She's not.
presence, right?
She's the
She's
red
on the
herring.
stand for about 90 seconds,
She's
and that's
a
about it.
total red herring. She's a total red herring.
Yeah.
And that's cool because, as we know, communism is just a red herring.
I have to say, there's part of me that wishes this episode that I would have liked more from the Patricia character. Like, what if the bodies had been switched and the actual body that was burned down was Monica's? And that would have been a
Ooh,
fun. I was because I don't watch this episode a lot, so I kind of forgot
yeah,
when I was
no,
watching it for
same,
homework, and I was like,
same.
is it actually Monica that's dead? And Judith, Patricia is like very like Barbara, right? Barbara from Menace Anyone, who sort of fakes a death and or doesn't really fake a death, but everyone assumes is dead and disappears. I thought that would
Well,
be interesting, but
there is that episode, I think next season, with the psychic,
yeah,
where
yeah,
there is a little body switching. So they
hmm
do get there eventually.
yeah,
Yeah, interesting ideas. Interesting ideas.
hmm
Um, yeah, I think what's I also skipped this episode a lot. I think partially because the our
Quail.
attorney, yeah,
He's so
he's so
insufferable. It's so hard to
yeah,
watch. I mean, he showed up and did the job,
great.
obviously.
He did the job. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he
He's really good and he's definitely giving the biggest performance here.
Fritz Weavering all over the place,
Totally.
frankly.
Yeah. But on this homework rewatch that I did for today's recording, there were some things that were like pleasantly surprising, including Juliet Mills as the prosecuting attorney. I thought she's
Yeah,
so
good
good in
job.
this. She's
Yeah.
lovely in this. And I do think
I'd
that
watch a show with her. I want to
me
see
too.
another case of
Yeah.
hers. Yeah.
She's very grounded and she seems bright and she seems interested in doing the right thing, right? Because she, even though in the middle of the episode she says, "It's my goal to prove that Jim murdered his wife." She's not she's not like Quayle, who's single-minded about it, right? She's willing to when more information comes to light, she's willing to explore it with Jessica. So she's a
Yeah.
very, very cool ally for her. I really like her. And then of
We talk
course,
a lot about we don't get
yeah.
a lot of women Watsons. So
No,
it's refreshing when they're well written because
it's
sometimes
very
when we do
nice.
get them, they
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. Yeah. They really can. Or our poor
Yeah.
aubergine wearing detective who shows up for a scene and gives her sort of spiel and then disappears and has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with the conclusion of the episode. How
Mm-hmm.
disappointing is that? She would have been a much, I mean, she's kind of like this character, but Juliet Mills comes through in the end where that character did not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. And aside from that, it's a fine episode. I think the ideas behind it are more interesting than some of what's happening on the screen. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as it is, like sometimes during episodes, we just go off and on and
yeah,
on and on about each individual moment. We really just sort of vibed with this
yeah,
episode
this
and
was a
let
vibe.
it take us to a lot of
This is like
different
a higher level
conclusions.
conversation than a piece by piece breakdown.
Um, our next episode takes us to the convent with Old Habits Die Hard.
Oh,
It
yay!
is it is in fact one of my favorite episodes.
Absolutely.
And it is another complicated women doing what they feel they need to kind of
hmm
situation.
hmm
Um, yeah.
And just a tour de force performance from one of our favorites.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, everyone's quite good in it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a subplot that's sort of like, all right,
Yeah,
whatever
whatever,
to
yeah.
me
But
with the younger nun, but
mhm.
well, we have to get there. And
Yeah.
actually, it's important. Like she does serve a purpose
Yeah.
at the very
Not
least.
a total red herring or anything like that, but
Yeah,
necessary
yeah.
scene building, but
But yes, come back. If you think that we had any good points or what have you, write a comment. Tell us what you think.
yeah.
Are
If
you
you
are
think
you
we're
pro
just
Judith?
gas bags too, then let us know that too.
I mean, but still wrap it in a compliment if you can.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're nice.
did you have a favorite outfit of Judith's? Because I think I loved that Kai Wynn Guinan headpiece. It was
The one in the
on that
court with the emerald green.
with the emerald.
It's so
I think is
beautiful.
it houndstooth? I'm not even,
Not
or is
quite.
it checks?
Not quite.
It's on the
It's not
way.
not quite either, I don't think. But almost like a little diamond pattern of sorts.
Ah, so good.
But very beautiful. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
probably my favorite. The hat piece really does it for me.
it's so
Yeah.
weird.
Of a different
I
time. It's
live.
very cool.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, follow, subscribe, do the things. And if you have not had a chance to go through the monster episode that is our postmortem for season
Post-mortem.
3, please check it out. Let us know what you thought. If you haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to listen to uh Strange Bargain, our episode on that, please check it out. But can you believe we're already up to episode 4
Of season 4.
of season 4?
That's
We're
crazy.
just rolling
I know.
along.
I know. Getting them in the can.
Yeah, we do, and we have such great stuff coming. 22 episodes this season. I think it's a strong season. I think it's a strong
Delicious.
season. So,
Bring it on.
well, thank you, Petra. I've enjoyed our conversation. I know I ran with a lot of it, a lot of talking about morality, and
Not at all. I had
I
plenty to bounce
love
off
it.
of.
I love it. Well, I'm Victor Devon,
I'm petrified, and
and this
this
was
was
tonight
Tonight on Murder,
on
She
Murder She
Wrote.
Wrote. That was good harmony.
Accent edition.
Forget it, Petra. It's Canada.
It's good. Is it? Is it?
No, actually, I'm pretty sure it was Mendocino.
Yeah, there you go. Even with that sexy Mountie.
No, you find those in Mendocino all the time.
They just wanted to give me something to fantasize about Mountie about.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Oh golly.